One on has to Venmo everybody $50 or some shit.
You must think I'm made of money. I'll be on here like 2 hours early if that's the case.
For real, $50 for struggle for the rest of the week.
Okay, well, it looks like we are all here, so let's get this recap out of the way. It's been a minute. Last session began with our party enjoying a bit of their newfound fame, relaxing and having a few drinks within the Topsy Turtle, during which clerics of Yondala, as well as head priestess herself, stopped by to congratulate the party and offer them a reward from her church. The party, eager to find what awaits them, quickly head to the Temple of Yondala, where they are rewarded with items, coin, and a knighthood. Officially defenders of the realm and members of the Knights of Borsland, awarded all the rights and privileges of a local city guard, including access to the barracks and training facilities. Soon the party was then summoned not too far away to settle a dispute within the Temple of Pelor. Baracus's family line has ended, and his family estate, properties, and businesses had to be dealt with. The party provided some valuable insight into the matter. Let's see here. Helping all those involved come to like some decisions about what was to be done with said items. After departing the Church of Pelor, the party hit the markets, acquiring a few things as well as resupplying. The following morning, escorted by Brother Agnew, the party was taken to a teleportation circle below the main chambers of the Church of Pelor, and in a flash sent many miles across the sea to a similar room in a similar temple upon Wafet Isle. Here, they briefly encountered the brave Sir Cudney as they prepped for oncoming battle. The looming sounds of warning bells and war horns in the distance. They rushed toward the unmanned eastern gate to meet a pair of raiding and invading fire giants. Conflict ensued, and the party, though minus Sir Cudney, found themselves victorious once again. And that is kind of where we are now. So, you guys have fell this pair of fire giants, and immediately, it only takes a few seconds, only a few moments pass as you guys kind of take your breath. Dozens upon dozens of knights in what appears to be red chainmail swarm the area. A couple of them land, the double check. Some of them slay the giants, I guess. They perform a few coup de grace, and then immediately go to setting up like a defensive perimeter around the bastion gate, and through a combination of skilled labor and magics, they begin to mend the gate whole as this whole squad has just kind of ran past you.
Does there appear to be like a leader, someone heading this small militia, or barking out orders or anything like that?
Give me a perception check.
Oh, that'll go great. First roll of the night, boys. Oh, not bad. 15? Yeah, 15.
Of this squad that seems to be roaming about here in front of you, a large half-orc does seem to be in command. He's the one issuing the orders to and fro.
I think Glader would just kind of like get the attention of the rest of the party, and then kind of do like a little side like head nod towards the half orc, and then start making his way over to him. Hi there. So it appears that you're leading this small group of soldiers. Are you in charge of everyone, or just this small band right here?
He stops and turns to you, and he gives you like a very he takes his fist and bangs it into his chest and gives you guys like a light bow, and then he says, "I am Sir Jux of Cord, and this is the Red Fist, the knights of my faction. They are dedicated to Cord, as am I."
All right.
Did you fell these giants?
Yes, we did. Sir Cunny led us out here. We just traveled here from Orsland, and Sir Cudney met us at the teleportation circle and asked for our assistance, brought us out here, but he kind of met an untimely demise. But we were able to defeat the two fire giants.
Yeah, he's sort of caught between a rock and a hard place, if you will.
May his God carry his soul. You are impressive. It takes 25 men to fell a giant. 2 with only 5. You have good timing, heroes.
Yes, of course. I mean, we're happy to help. We do have to say though that we are on our own specific mission, but obviously we won't be able to complete that mission if the city is destroyed by a bunch of fire giants. So, suppose we can help if there more assistance is needed.
Indeed, you heroes have good timing. You should come with me. He barks a couple more commands, and then begins walking towards into the center of town, towards the middle of this settlement.
I guess do we follow? We gotta find someone that knows about what's her face? God damn it! The druid who we're searching out.
Black feathers.
Yeah, something.
Tilinara.
Eleanor.
There it is.
I keep thinking Tillamook.
It's close enough. We'll call her Tilly.
Tilly Black.
So as y'all start walking off, Logus is just sitting down, like just beat to hell, bloody, bruised, and just like trying to gather himself. Took 2 big fucking boulders to the face.
Oh yeah, you did get a little fucked. Did I help? No. Yeah, Glader's gonna notice that he stops and took a seat real quick, and walk over to him and place his hand on his shoulder. All right, I know you're tired, but we gotta keep moving. Probably isn't the safest place to take a rest. And use a 20 points of lay on hands. So you heal 20 hit points.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I was about to get my rope ready and climb into my secret hole.
Yeah, no problem. Anyone else get pretty badly hurt? I can help anyone else heal a little bit.
Oh, I got a couple scratches, but I'm not hurting too bad.
I'm down about half, but if we have no more fights, it should be fine.
True. What about you, Blade? How you feeling?
Not too bad. Took a little bit of hit, but not bad.
All right. Well, I guess off we go. And they're just gonna start following after Sir Jux.
Okay, so as you guys are kind of following after Sir Jux, let me give you a little bit of intel about the city you're in. So, the outskirts are, the very outer perimeter of the city is the walls, obviously. And there's a good gap between the walls and anything else. And then, kind of like a dartboard moving your way in, the next ring of the city seems to be mostly housing. There are a few small businesses here and there, like an inn with a room or two for rent. But for the most part, it's general like neighborhoods and things. One of the things you guys would notice as you're walking along is that this is a very swampy kind of swampland region, and a lot of herbs and rare fauna and things are prominently on display here. Like things that you might have trouble getting in other places, like as far as spell components wise. Seems like there's a plenty in this neck of the woods. And as you guys kind of find yourself moving inward towards the city, you find yourself heading towards the city center or the city square. And at each corner of this city square, and it's just a beautiful concrete square with a large flower fountain right at its center, water spewing forth on this ornately carved concrete. And at all four corners of this city square is a massive pillar of stone, a monument like to four separate gods. There are four large churches at each corner. The churches you notice right off the bat are dedicated to one to Pelor, one to Yandala, one to Saint Cuthbert, and one to Cord. And like the very center of this city is this city square, and that is where Sir Jux of Cord seems to be leading you. As you kind of you get a little further into the city and out of the residential district, there is a brief zone where it seems to be just merchants and artisans, a few blacksmiths, shops abound. And then you enter like the church district, if you will, at the very center of this like dartboard of a city. And the four towering stone pillars, kind of one representing each god. You see flags and banners hanging from not only fence posts but high up in the windows and things, representing each other of the gods. And as you guys kind of enter the square, it seems blessedly empty. There are a couple of guards posted up as you guys kind of walk by, but they pay you no mind. And as you kind of venture inward, Sir Jux of Cord turns to you and says, well, it is fortuitous that you have come to us. It is great that we could depend on luck to aid us in our ventures. I think you would benefit from coming with us and listening to what we have to say. I think that perhaps we could help you. What I have a feeling that what bodes good for random adventurers may possibly bode bad for my foes. This way, and he leads you into this courtyard, and there are two other individuals having a hushed conversation. And as you kind of walk in and around, you notice that this is an exceptionally well-guarded courtyard. Just on the perimeter, in about every direction, you see dozens upon dozens of armed guards, knights, etc. They all appear to be in uniform, but not all of them are in the same uniform. Clearly, separate factions at work cohesively here. The two people you do see, one is a priestess of Yandala, and the other a priest of St. Cuthbert. And they are having a hushed discussion as you walk up upon them. And Sir Jux of Cord introduces you. These are friends from the Temple of Pelor. Why they have come, we do not know, but their timing is fortuitous. I think we should aid them if we can. And they stop their hushed conversations and both kind of bow their heads. Sir Jux of Cord continues, this is Head Priest Yokun and Head Priestess Viola. They are the retrospective leaders of their factions. And they kind of, he gestures to the other armed individuals just on the perimeter of this courtyard that you guys are meeting in.
What were those names again? Viola and
I'll drop it into chat real quick.
Yakun. And Yakun was the priest of
Saint Cuthbert is the he wears the garments of Saint Cuthbert.
And then she was Yandala.
Correct.
Well, Renwick will step forward when they introduce themselves and take off his hat and sort of tip it to them and introduce himself and just say, my name's Sir Captain Renwick Turner of the Sands of Justice. And these here are my compatriots. I'll let them introduce themselves, but we're more than happy to be of assistance.
They look back and forth at one another and then kind of look back to you all and Sir Jux of Cord. Sir Cudney will not be attending this meeting. I am sorry to inform you. He has passed. He is now in the realm of the Dawnfather.
Yes, I'm afraid he got quite rocked in our previous combat. I guess you could really say he left the world quite grounded, though.
Jeez. Glitter's gonna step in at that point. Yes, he met us. We were traveling here from Boarsland, the Paylor Temple over there, and we showed up at the teleportation circle, and Sir Cudney appeared to be waiting there for us. He asked us to assist him with the giants that were assaulting your front gates, and we did. Unfortunately, he did not make it through the.
He got squished by a big rock.
He got smashed a little bit, but you fought valiantly. And,
no, he didn't. He got squished as soon as we ran out in the field. And I hope you don't think I'm rude, but I'm gonna sit down because I too got hit by a rock, and Logus is gonna sit down and start trying to get like a little rest.
but yes, sir. The main reason we came here is to help, our countries, separate, respective countries from the blight that is the graying. We need to seek out Tilanara Blackfeather, and we had received some intel that she was located here, well, trapped here, imprisoned in a mystical prison around the Fire Giant's general, or around her neck. A small stone. So that is why we're here, but as a Jux, or Sir Jux, apologies, stated, I think we can help each other out. Now, enemy of my enemy is my friend sort of deal. Wait, no, that's not the right phrase. That's not what I meant.
Well, that was a long walk for a short drink of water. What he's saying is we're looking for Tilinar at Blackfeather. We're told she's imprisoned on an amulet held by the fire giant later. And I'm assuming, since we just slayed 2 fire giants that broke into your town, that, that general's death helps you out as well. So I'm assuming that this is the direction that the conversation's most likely heading.
The priest of St. Cuthbert, Yokun, he's a bald man with no, very clean shaven and in like this silver and red kind of robe. He speaks up and he says, yes, Tilinara, little more than a month back, she came to us and seeking information on Galt the Gora, the one they call the General, or General Firefoot. She sought information, sought to parley or perhaps destroy the creature, and went her way. We know she was looking for him, but we have not seen nor heard from her since. Yokun kind of speaks up and he turns to the other two amongst him, the knights of both Yondala and Cord, and he says, I think we should inform off-island members of the Dawn Father of this plight of their people here. They need help, and the war has ravaged the House of Pelor, the House of the Dawn Father most. With the death of Sir Cudney, they no longer have any senior members within the city walls. They are all initiates, barely accolades. They will need help, and we cannot govern thusly with just the 3 of us. The Temple of Pelor's insight has always been forever insightful and reliable. So we must fix this immediately. I will send the scales to see that this is done. And he kind of waves over to a knight of his order, a knight emblazoned in a bright silver armor with ruby kind of incrustations all over it, jumps up and he whispers a few words and sends him away with the command. The priestess of Yondala, Viola, she too kind of speaks up. She says, well, the bountiful hand will track the giants to the layers and counterattack, perhaps rescue those who have been taken. And then Sir Jux of Cord speaks in, 20 dead and 20 captured. That is the going number. And she says, right, so I will send the bountiful hand and we will track them and form some measure of a counterattack or rescue. And she calls off to her knights, and several, all of them halflings, show up in full plate. And she has a bit of a conference with them, a hushed speaking for a bit, and then they all too kind of send off. And Sir Jux of Cord is the last to kind of throw his 2 cents in. He says, I will send the Red Fist to reinforce and rebuild essential defense structures like the wall, and see to the dead and the wounded. And he kind of, without even needing to whisper anything to anyone, he just kind of, with a hand signal, you see a couple of knights in chainmail, red chainmail, depart. The 3 of them kind of look to the party and they our resources are yours. We feel that what is good for you is bad for our enemies, so we will aid you in any way we can. What could we do for you, adventurers?
Healing potions.
I also need more arrows. I'm running a tad low.
And if we're going to be fighting fire giants, if you've got anything that might give us a little bit of protection against flame, that would probably be helpful. And then he'll pull out his hand crossbow. He'll just be like, and I've been looking for an upgraded version of one of these if you got anything lying around. I wouldn't turn it down.
She kind of eyeballs the weapon. We'll see what we can do. So she, as far as potions, as soon as you mention it, with a quick command, it's first of all, the clerics can rush in and heal your wounds. If you're actively bleeding out their logos, someone would come and tend your wounds. So they would do what they can to replenish all of your hit points. So go ahead and bring everybody's HP back to full as these clerics kind of come over you. Also, they bestow upon you all a pair of standard healing potions, 2 to each of you.
Full at level 8 or until we sleep, stay at level 7?
Full at level 8.
Got it.
Sweet.
well, that
And
feels better.
even with that 20 hit points, I was still like 40 hit points under max.
Alright, so you need us to help you clear out these fire giants? Is that what I'm getting from all this?
The city still stands, but it is difficult. I feel that perhaps a bounty is in order. The fire giant raids are continuing and in frequency and duration. Used to not be hard to chase off a few. It's quite difficult to chase off a few dozen. The general has united them, and is effective and organized, unfortunately. Quite the tactician. Not common to be smart amongst giants, but this one apparently is.
Do you ever see the general away from the giants or out in the open, or does he always seem fully protected?
Not since his campaign against the city began.
Great, so we'll have to go to him, find him, probably fight through some giants to get to him, and then kill him. Yeah, that sounds simple enough.
Unless we challenge him to single combat, and then we all get on each other's shoulders with a rather large coat to make it look like we're one person. And then when we draw him out by himself, then we sort of break apart and, well, you get the rest.
The old kobold in the trench coat method.
Ah, you've heard of it.
Alright, so when do you think you would be planning on a little housewarming party for the general and the giants?
Well, to be perfectly honest, the raids used to come, maybe monthly and only in the night. And they are now, as you can see, because it is midday. Now, as you can see, they're brazen and come even in the day. This is the 3rd time this week we've had to fight off raids, and at the rate they are destroying and capturing members of the city, wow. There's not going to be much left of us for very long. A couple of months at the most before we have to maybe disband and just for the safety of the citizens. If we can't do something about it, we will surely perish. But we don't have a plan other than to defend ourselves to the end. Not all raids go their way. Sometimes we are the better, but this one, alas, left several holes in our defenses.
Super.
Well, I don't know about everyone else, but I might need a little bit of rest before we go on and take on, you know, small army of fire giants and their general. Is there some place that we can potentially sit down for some time and tend to our wounds and restock on all of our items?
It is
Maybe.
probably in our best interest to try to get at least a little bit of rest in.
There are many taverns and inns in the area, and there are also the ranks at the House of Pelor have been thinned quite substantially. If you need quarters there, they won't charge you for a bit of bread and a place to sleep.
Well, that sounds like our best bet while we try and come up with some sort of plan.
How
So what
long
do
do
you
you
guys think? Drink?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, the fine lady said that she was sending her men to track the general, so perhaps we rest while they get us a location. And hopefully it times out.
Not track the general, track the captives. 40 members of the city, 40 citizens, were captured by the fire giants. They have a particular diet they like to upkeep, as well as use some of the stronger, in their eyes, as slaves to mine the iron they wield in their armors and weapons. If you hadn't noticed, the 2 fire giants you slain happen to be exceptionally well armed and armored, likely the results of a small team of slaves working till they are ground into a pie.
Well, then in that case, it doesn't seem like there's a better way to draw out the men we're looking for than to take back these captives and become a thorn in his side. What do you guys think?
sounds like a good idea?
I would agree.
Can't think of anything better than fucking with fire giants.
Me either.
Plus, the general and the army might be exactly where the captives are, so find the captives, we might find who we're looking for as well.
I could think of a
So,
few things better, but none available.
so do the fire giants not have a base that y'all are aware of, a central location where they meet?
The fire giants are all homed on Mount Gunner. It is the large volcano at the center of the island.
I mean, we could make a trek out there and see what we potentially find at this mountain.
The caves and caverns within are a honeycombed lot. Some have been explored, others not. There is an individual who may be of more use to you than the council here, but, well, we're not at all entirely fond of him. But the Gunner family, they are capable. They are the ones who the mountain is named after, Mount Gunner, or the volcano rather. They rumored to have mapped every square inch, hence why we named the mountain after them. But as of late, the generation seems to have decayed. The generational gap, rather, has seemed to decay the fiber of these beings. They're little more than, cutthroats and tricksters, for if you ask myself.
Well,
Well,
no
not,
offense, but right about now, a trick is probably exactly what you need to get to the general. Unless you want open warfare with a shit ton of giants.
yeah, I tend to agree with him. In a situation like this, you can't be too picky on where you get your help.
The priestess of Yondala, Viola, kind of speaks to. She says, he is a trickster, and he will, if he does have this information, you can bet that it'll cost you a high price in either coin or deed. That he will not part with it cheaply. He'll get you for everything he can. So, well, be warned. The remaining gunner is a bit devious, a bit tricksy, but I don't sense any evil from him particularly, but he is rather unpleasant, shifty, deceitful almost.
Is the family known to have any preference for anything in particular? Are they alcoholics? Do they like shiny things? Is there anything that we might use to garner favor?
They like to play games, and it is now extinct, essentially. There is only a single remaining gunner left. They are known for their fondness of games and trickery, as well as their devious nature, but nothing comes to mind particularly. They are tabaxi, if that helps.
Well, Blade, I'm sure you've talked down a pussy or two in your time. What do you say we go give this a go?
Blade Silver Tongue doesn't work. We could always pick up a ball of string.
What was his name again? This last guy?
We call him Gunner, but his name is Pixel.
I'm sure we could talk to him a little bit.
Sir Jux of Cord kind of chimes in. I will lead you there. And then he kind of stomps off, immediately about face and begins walking away.
Oh, okay. Guess we're leaving now.
Okay.
So was I able to get any arrows?
Oh yeah, they would resupply you. Nothing magical though, but they'd restock your arrows.
Okay.
Yeah, Glader just starts taking off after Jux. Trying not to lose him as he about facing stuff.
Okay.
How long did that conversation take?
Not long. 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Okay. Well, at least we're back to full health with the healing. I guess we better follow him.
Okay, so as you guys are kind of rolling through Lover's Rest here. So Lover's Rest, kind of unlike Borsland, is ran by this religious council that you guys just kind of met. Well, 3 of the 4 of them, Sir Cudney being the 4th. And so it's, unlike in Borsland, they had like a ruling class of nobles. Here, the ruling class seems to be the high-ranking clergymen. As you guys kind of make your way through the city, it's a large city on this tropical island, and it's located almost lakeside in a somewhat swampy region. This island is like paradise to many forms of rare flora and fauna. Many wooden houses of various sizes line this like nearby lakeshore. A few taverns and inns amongst them. A sizable portion of the population here live on houseboats and rely on the local swampland for food, crafts, and trade and goods. Many sages and healers and medicine men travel to the city in search of knowledge and rare components or ingredients and unique, enlightening experiences. As such, you can see people buying and selling things that they find in the swamp, or trading things they find in the swamp all over the city, from healing herbs to different salves, different maybe some skewered fish or small reptiles or frog legs, etc. As you guys kind of make your way out of the city, you come up to these large 20-foot tall wooden gates, and there's several guards that kind of give you the nod and wave you on through as you are accompanied by Sir Jux of Cord. And he marches you out of this gate and towards this very swampy region. And the road kind of ends where this swampland begins. Sir Jux of Cord gestures to where this road kind of ends. And then he turns to you, says, when you are in the swamp, you will see the hut. He is not well liked, so he stays out here, away from the rabble. Good luck. He is a trickster. I do not trust him. You should not either. I wish you good luck on your journey, adventurers. We need heroes. Hopefully you are them. He beats his chest and gives you a low bow, kind of gestures towards where the road meets the swamp and just kind of mysteriously ends.
All right, love you too.
See ya, Jux.
See you, buddy.
Don't forget to remind your boss that I'm looking for a good crossbow.
I will do this.
And we'll do our best to help you in return. And he'll tip his hat and just turn around and be like, well, boys, who's leading the way through the swamp?
Well, I guess I'll take the lead a little bit.
Yeah, I'll follow close behind you.
Yeah, I think Blade would on Gladier.
I'll stick close to Blade.
Guess I'm
So
picking up the rear.
Tony didn't come with me, right? Because they made the beast stay outside while we got teleported.
Correct. Both Tony and the donkey had to stay behind. I forget the donkey's name, but it was a good one.
Gibraltar.
Gibraltar, yeah, that's right.
All right. Let's get going through this awful looking swamp.
Okay, so as you guys kind of journey into this mucky area, it comes about knee deep to a lot of you. It's about chest deep to Renwick, maybe. I don't know, waist high maybe. As you guys kind of get through this mucky muck, but it is not long before you come upon a clearing. And as you kind of make your way towards it, a small hut seems to slowly manifest. And as you get closer and closer, this hut seems to form before your very eyes, where you kind of had cast out a glance and seen, but maybe this small clearing in this larger overall puddle of swampland. As you kind of make your way to this small clearing, this house just seems to grow from the land itself, as if molecules of dirt and twigs and leaves slowly build it as you arrive. And as you get close, you see an older tabaxi sitting out of a quaint cottage, smoking on a pipe, holding a frog. It looks to be graying and definitely older. It looks to have a walking stick and a bit of a. You can tell by looking into his face that he's aged some years. But he, smoking on his pipe, holding his frog, kind of glances curiously as the party comes into his, walks in through his illusion.
So since he's known for like being tricky, I'm gonna be watching like for any funny shit. Passive 20. Also, just be kind of like towards the back, just making sure he's not trying to do anything sneaky.
Okay, for sure.
So he had an illusion put up around. So like we kind of like stepped through this illusion and then saw him sitting in front of his hut.
Correct. Like from where you guys had entered, you couldn't see his hut until you got near it, and as you got near it, then it became visible. But it was kind of sitting, off the beaten path, in like a small clearing in the center of this swamp.
How's anybody feeling particularly friendly? Blade, you're pretty good with people. I'd be more than happy to back you up if you want to take lead here.
Yeah, I'm sure I could talk to him. Blade will kind of approach him respectfully, not like kind of intruding on him, but just kind of put his hand up and be like, "Hello, friend."
Hello. It's not many visitors that old Gunner gets. What brings you to my neck of the woods, half-elf?
Later also moves up and stands like 2 feet behind Blade. Just kind of getting ready in case he tries any little trickery on my half-elf friend.
Yeah, Renwick will walk up and stand next to Blade and tip his hat toward the tabaxi as Blade's introducing himself.
Well, my name is Blade Silverstring. You probably haven't heard of me, or maybe you have. But these are my friends here. And I'll point to the rest of the group and be like, we're kind of on a mission here to kind of get through this maze to the mountain, and you might know the way. Seems like you're a little bit ways out here. I don't know, is there a particular reason? It seems that the others in the town dislike you, and it's kind of concerning.
They do not like me, that is true. Not all of them, but some of them, they still come to talk to me, but in secret. But nonetheless, I do not get many visitors, you're right. How about this? Let us play a game. You win, and I will answer your question, and if I win, you reveal something to me, huh?
Yeah, I mean, that seems even. He'll kind of nod his head looking at the rest of the group. I like games as well. Let's say you and I play.
So as you agree, this big frog, this big old bullfrog that's been sitting on his lap for some time, jumps off of his lap in between the two of you, and as it hits the ground, it becomes a wooden barrel, like pop, like immediately. And from underneath an old ratty coat, the older tabaxi man sets a deck of cards and a satchel of dice upon the table. He gestures. You choose.
Well, back in my hometown, we used to play a lot of dice. Why don't we choose the dice?
Okay, so he grabs a trio of dice. You grab a trio of dice, and this is how this dice game works. Each player rolls 3d6, however, can only put 2d6 into play. Prior to rolling, one player must declare if they wish higher or lower totals to win. You re-roll ties. So you being the guest, High or low wins.
Locris is going to pull out his wand of detect magic and send off a charge.
You are almost blinded. Everything around you seems to be radiating. It is either covered in an aura, or radiating magic itself. And it's like his house, his chair, the barrel. Not the cards and dice. Not the cards and dice, coincidentally enough.
That was the main one.
So, Blade, would you like high or low to win?
Let's go low.
So low wins, so he'll eliminate a 5. You got to get lower than a 9.
Okay. So lower than a 9. So I roll.
You roll
One.
3, and you can eliminate 1, and that'll be your total.
Got it.
Hey, nice.
Well played.
What a fucking roll.
As you kind of outshoot him in dice, he looks down. Nah, I can't believe it. This is not right. Okay, elf, half elf. What to give me one question? Gunner will answer for you. What? Ask it. Why the people don't like me? Well, I'm kind of creepy, but mistrusting is probably the main word. I don't know. I have sneaky habits. Sometimes they get me in trouble.
Well, the reason why we're here is we're looking to have a map of this mountain decay system. Seems like you might be familiar with these parts. Do you have such a map?
Yes, I do.
And I know this is another question, but what's it going to take to get that?
He points to the deck of cards. One more game. Cards this time, yes?
Blade will look down at the cards, look back at him, and be like, all right, let's do one more.
Okay, so the way this card game works is the highest score wins. Each player is dealt 2 cards. You may discard and redraw 1 card, and you roll a d12 to determine the value of the card. So, roll 2 d12s, and you can trade one in if you'd like. So he will re-roll one of hit or redraw a card, which comes up 11. So he has 21, and you also have 21. Tie game.
Oh, jeez.
Rematch. You can't tie. One of us has to win. Who answers the question?
How about we both answer a question?
Okay, deal. He scoops up his cards real quick.
All right, your shot. Why don't you ask us a question?
He kind of looks you guys up and down, kind of takes his time, takes a deep drag off his pipe, and he leans forward to you and says almost in like a hushed whisper, I heard I heard the Dragonborns have tails. Is this true? Is he hiding a tail in the armor over there? That's crazy.
Believe it or not, it is a myth. This particular one doesn't, and most others don't. Although some might get their tail confused for other things. It is not a tail. So I hear. Word around it.
The weirdest fucking thing, right? Like, all of us totally thought he had a tail for like a good 6 months before we realized.
Glader just lets out a long, deep sigh.
That is weird. My tail is awesome. He flicks his tail around. Okay, your question. What do you want?
How do I know that you're not lying to us about this map?
You don't.
Fair enough.
Well, we could if we want to take the risk. And I'll pull out my fire opal. So we have one use of zone of truth. As long as he willingly fails, of course. Be foolish to waste it.
His eyes get really big as you pull out the jewel. And he's, ooh, I like this. Very nice.
Do we want to use it or do we want to save it?
What do you say, Pixel? You comfortable with this, or should we just play another hand?
He kind of cocks his head, gestures to both either the dice or the cards. You choose.
After seeing his interest in the gem and stuff, Locris is going to put it back into the bag of holding and kind of shift everything to where it's all noticeable on him in terms of anything getting snagged.
You notice it takes him a minute to break his eyes away from that jewel, and that he deals, idly playing with the cards and things, just kind of, when you finally put it away, he breaks contact and returns his focus back to Blade.
Logos is just standing up watching the game, but just keeping an eye on, forget his name, but to make sure he's not trying anything sneaky, not trying to steal anything. Do you want to use my passive or do you want me to roll perception?
We'll use your passive for the time being. He's being pretty honest at the moment anyway. Because, yeah, it's more than, you're looking out with particularly astute senses, but essentially the whole party is kind of gathered around this barrel watching him and Blade play games.
And you said he was smoking when we walked up, right? Like
Correct.
pipe tobacco?
Pipe tobacco, yeah.
Perfect. Renwick reaches into the bag of holding and pulls out something that we got at like the very beginning of the game. And we have a pouch of fine tobacco and papers. We have 2 of them. So I'm going to pull out one of those and I'm going to roll cigarettes for everybody as we're sitting here watching this with this very nice tobacco. And then when I strike one, the first puff, I'm going to kind of blow off to the side near Gunner so that he catches a whiff of that fine tobacco, just to further pique his interest in what we have to offer.
Renwick, give me a perception check as you kind of make this little move. Logos, go ahead and give me an insight check as well, since you're keeping a diligent guard on this.
It's 13.
Renwick,
Insight is... That's a 16 total.
Okay, so Renwick, you see him kind of look you up and down as you make this gesture with your tobacco, But that's essentially it. It was a quick eyeball. Logos, you see him his eyes hover for just a moment on several items of Renwick's, and one of them looked to be at least his one of his tentacle hands, at least briefly.
I'll touch the ring and talk to Renwick. Captain, it seems that he has taken a slight interest in the tentacle. I don't know how you want me to address it. I don't want to be insensitive, but your hand, or what was your hand, he seems to be taking an interest in it.
Well, while I do appreciate your concern, I'm fairly certain that that's a pretty uncommon thing to come across. Most people stare at my hand these days. I don't think that's entirely out of the ordinary. I mean, like you were there when it happened, and you stare at my hand all the time. That might be for other reasons, and we don't have to talk about that now. But
But maybe you could use it to your advantage to pique his interest a little more. Is all I'm saying. It's not weird. It's perfectly normal. But maybe you could tell him a tale or something.
well, I'll certainly keep that in mind. And then as he sits back with his smoke after he's passed around the other cigarettes to everybody except the tabaxi, he'll sit back with his left hand holding his cigarette in his right hand, just kind of like rolling the tentacles across his knee, like really just brandishing them, almost trying to be tantalizing in a very off-kilter way.
Does the tentacle leave behind residue? Like, is it slimy, permanently?
I believe the term moist has been used liberally.
I wouldn't say slimy, but probably moist.
So your tentacle is always moist.
Yes.
So like, when he's rubbing his knee, is it like noticeable that it's leaving behind some kind of like is it noticeably moist like when he's wiping it against his leg?
Give me a medicine check.
Also, I'm fairly certain that what we decided was that my 5 fingers basically became 5 small tentacles, so I have like this cluster of tentacles where a hand would be, as opposed to
Correct.
one big tentacle.
Correct.
Is that right? Okay, yeah, cool. I'm just trying to make sure I'm picturing this right, because
I didn't know
that's
that.
a fucking
That's
image.
even more weird. Also, I wrote a natural 20 plus 4 for 24. For the keep the fucking tentacles moist. A waste.
So yeah, I mean, much like Renwick's regular hand, sometimes it could potentially leave a residue. Clammy hands is kind of a condition that humans and halflings might suffer a little more than elves. But yeah, for the most part, sometimes, not always, but sometimes.
And then Glader takes his cigarette and kind of like purses his lips like he's gonna whistle and just like shoots out like this tiny little jet of flame to light the end of the cigarette, and then puffs at it while staring at Pixel.
Well, that's a nifty trick right there. I should have had you light mine.
I don't mind helping if you still need help.
We'll know it's already lit, but thank you.
Next time.
I'd imagine Blade would take a rip off the the cigarette and just kind of maybe start hacking up a lot because he's not used to this sort of thing, but just trying to look cool and just kind of look at it and be like, and look at Pixel and be like, "Do you want this? It's probably not good for my voice. We'll hand it over to Pixel."
He says no, but he snatches it up immediately.
So Logus is also like pretty young and never, obviously living in the forest, never smoked. So this will be the first time. So he uses the produce flame cantrip to light it. And what can I roll something to see how well I take the cigarette? Would it be Constitution?
Yeah, Constitution.
It's a natural one.
You hack so hard that you vomit a little in front of everybody.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna step back a little bit.
Pixel kind of sits up and looks over. Oh man, that was my favorite bush, man. That's not right. He looks back to a Blade as he takes a long drag off the cigarette and kind of eyeballs it. Oh, very nice. He says, "So, any more talking to be done?" He kind of gestures to the cards and the dice.
Logos, after like recovering, will walk back to the party and like start trying to like pass it. Like anybody next trying to pass the cigarette to someone else.
Pixel will happily take that one too. He's now smoking 2 cigarettes.
Blade will just kind of look at him and be like, God, you're impressive. But there's always time for talking, and maybe we should give this one more go. How about another game of cards?
Now that sounds like a question, but okay. And he deals some cards out to the 2 of you.
Blade will be like, hey, you got me.
He'll ditch the 5 and roll again. For another 5. Okay, so 13. Oh shit, we forgot to ask a high or low. So before I see your roll, I'm going to say you got to get under. We said low last time, so let's keep it low. You got to get under 13.
Fair enough. All right.
Shit, actually, cards is highest score, so you have to get above 13. Sorry, confused my games there.
No problem. I was going right with it. Okay, so 2d12 and I can trade 1.
Correct. You won't have to. That beats it anyway.
Oh.
All right. This is bullshit. You come here and you win all the time. What do you ask of Pixel? What do you ask? I'll answer one more question.
How can
Will
you...
you give us the map?
What he said.
No, Pixel will not give you family heirloom map. No.
What's it going to
Well, then. Go ahead, Blade.
If you want me to, why do you want? Pixel wants to know. Why do you want to go to Mount Gun or to die? This is not a good idea.
Somebody is holding a friend of ours, and we plan on getting her back.
Also what he said.
You know, fire giants don't hold on to them very long. They eat them. They work them in their slave mines till they are not good slaves, and then they just eat them. Where do you think all of the Greys went here?
This one is being held in a special prison.
So your friend is very important then.
Seems to be, at least for them.
Important enough to venture into the lair of fire giants and maybe die?
Yeah, almost died on a boat, so what's fire giants compared to a kraken?
Well, I tell you what, this seems like you are well-off adventurers. I'm old now, but I was young once. I know how it goes with adventuring. Many trinkets and baubles and things. Coin. I tell you what. Yeah. 5,000 gold pieces. And I will show you the map. But you cannot take it.
It's a pretty steep price for just a glance at the map, and then we're gonna supposedly have to just memorize it and hope we find our way.
Well, I'm sure you'd be more than willing to part with it if we make it worth your while. And well, I mean, we've got a handful of things that would probably be up your alley. I mean, for instance, I've got an entire pouch of this tobacco that we haven't even touched yet, and papers to go along with it. We'd be more than happy to leave you with, so you can sit here and enjoy it on your lovely porch. And this is some shit from a whole other continent. It's nothing you'll find out here. You'll be the only person, probably within 1,000 miles, smoking this.
Okay. You throw in this tobacco, and maybe we leave the decision up to fate about another game. But this one, much higher stakes. If you beat me, I give you the map free. You can take it. If you do not, well, there are definitely consequences.
Well, I'd be a fool to sign up for a game and not know what the consequences would be, so unless you plan on being far more specific, something tells me that's not going to work.
Have you ever played the game of guess before?
I've played a lot of guessing games.
No. This game is a little different. Do you know how the undead spirits can sometimes possess a person? They linger within their body, sometimes affecting their mood or movement, thought process, if only briefly.
Well, I've heard of possession, yes, I'm familiar.
Perfect, and you know almost all of the rules to guess. So, guess. The rules are simple. Pixel will create a concoction within the cauldron, and he pushes from his seat on his porch, he pushes his door open, and you see a blessedly kind of clean interior of a small cabin. And in the center of this small cabin, various knickknacks and things on the walls, but in the center of this cabin is a large cauldron with a circle of stones around it and a bit of charring embers in it. He says, each participant of the ritual must offer a drop of blood into the cauldron, including Pixel. Everyone drinks from the cauldron, and then things will get fuzzy for a time. A short time. When our senses return, one of you will be gone. And I, Pixel, may look to be you, but you will not be me. Around the cauldron you must stand. 3 questions each you may ask. When you have found which vessel Pixel resides in, plunge the dagger into the heart of the vessel and set Pixel free. Stabbing Pixel in this way does not hurt your friends nor Pixel, but it ends the game with you the winners. But if you do not find Pixel after all of the questions are asked, and Pixel must reveal himself, then Pixel will give you what you seek, but only in exchange for every coin each of you carry upon you. Every last one. Also, side rule, anyone who dies within Pixel's home before the game has concluded becomes property of Pixel, including all the coins and bubbles on their person. Yes? Sounds simple enough?
That sounds like you're getting a whole hell of a lot while giving up very little.
My ancestors are the ones who mapped the mountain, risking their lives
And
for... And
and
that is
you're
all I
being
have
useless
left.
with it. And you're an embarrassment to your ancestors.
He kind of laughs. He says, yes, I think they would say that too. They are more noble than what our clan has become. But don't worry, I am the last.
Being honest. So if you die, then everything in the house is just open. Because there's nobody else. Nobody to defend you, nobody to avenge you. Is this what you're saying?
The game does not kill Pixel, but even for you, it would be hard to kill Pixel in this place.
I believe it.
So, 7,500 gold pieces, or we play a game of guess.
Well, I didn't know we could straight up buy the map off of you. That sounds a lot more appealing to me personally. That being said, would you also accept some bartering? Because we've got quite a few fancy items that you might be interested in. We could help soften the blow of that coin.
You take Amex.
Give me a persuasion check, Renwick.
Come on, +6. That's a 10.
9,000 gold pieces, or you beat me at guess.
All right, so let me get this straight just one more time, just so I completely understand. So, all of us put in a drop of blood into this cauldron. We all take a drink from it. You inhabit one of our bodies for a short period of time. And does each of us have 3 questions? Or do we only get 3 questions total to try and figure out where you are, which body you're inhabiting?
3 questions each. Maybe
3
ask.
questions each to figure out which body you're in. And once we believe we have the correct body, we have to stab that body into the heart, in the heart. And if we're right, you leave the body, no harm done to that person or yourself. If we're wrong, that person dies and you win and we lose all of our gold and a friend.
Potentially, if you lose, yes.
Now, when you have access to the body, do you also have access to their memories?
These, perhaps, I will have access to maybe a few. Yes, it is possible, but part of the ritual kind of stifles magic around the cauldron, which is why we all stand close. So, things like this cannot be done so easily. But how do you know I've not already read all of your minds? He kind of smiles.
And if we win, all we get is the map.
The map in and of itself is a great treasure.
Blade will kind of look at him and be like, all right, listen here. You're playing enough games. Let's go back to the original offer. 5,000, and we look at the map.
Blade, go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
$25.
He crosses his arms and he looks to you and he says, "Oh, well. All right. How about that we leave it to chance?" And he gestures to the cards and the dice on the table. He says, "If you beat me, then $5,000. If not, you all of your dollars, all of your coin, every last one." Or the third option, we play a game of gaze. I have never really been beaten. I'm just pretty great at it, you know. I'll have you know, no one died at least the last like 6 or 7 times. I'm getting really good.
All right. Let's do one more game. Cards.
Okay, so deal is 5,000 or you give me all your coin. Not you, Blade, the bard.
So 5,000 gold for the map to look at it.
To look only, no, not touch. Just look.
Hold up, but if he loses, are you saying you get to keep all of our gold?
Are you not a team?
Okay.
Well, with all
Honestly,
due
at this
respect,
point, I'm just going back the hell out.
yeah, I was going to say, with all due respect, we might be a team, but we keep our gold separate. And right now, I don't think he's got much gold to be gambling on, so really he's gambling on our gold, and personally, I don't like that.
No, that was my misunderstanding. I misunderstood that.
He kind of pouts and sits back on his chair and puffs on his pipe. Oh, sad. Very sad. Well, I am sorry. It is what it is. This is my last family heirloom of a dying breed of tabaxi. It is precious to me.
Well, may he die peacefully and quickly.
So what's the plan? Are we just gonna wander aimlessly through the mountain, or are we gonna take a chance?
I mean, it sounds like we kind of have to, unless everybody wants to risk losing all of their shit. Like, the stakes are just ridiculously high.
Is it all of our stuff?
Not
Or
even high. It's stupid.
Yeah, like
For a
all
map,
of our
you give
gold is
up
ridiculous.
everything on you. All
Is
your
it-
gold, all your weapons, your new shield, your armor, that medallion you got, your family crest, all for a map.
Yeah,
No,
cloak of
it's
displacement,
stupid
my
things.
family sword. Like, I'm not giving up all my shit for some fucking map. I will just aimlessly wander through caverns if I have to.
Well,
No,
the, the
That
only
is
way
absolutely fucking absurd.
the only way Pixel gets to keep all of your stuff is if you die. You don't have need for stuff if you're already dead.
yeah,
Well,
if,
something tells me that game's built to fucking kill us. There's a reason why the town stays away from you.
If you are smart, it is a good deal. If you are dumb, maybe bad deal. Good deal if you're lucky. I hear halflings are lucky.
Well, that's the thing. I'm smart enough to know that I'm dumb.
Look at his
You
hand.
are
Does
you
it
are
look like he's
wise.
good at making deals?
I mean, he's got a point there. I can't even fault him.
Well, I wish you good luck on your quest, roaming the countryside full of vicious giants and swamp creatures. And the honeycombing caverns that descend into the depths of this lava chambers. It is going to be a fun ride for you. Good time, I wish upon all. And he smiles and takes a drag off his pipe.
Well, I'm gonna have to follow the lead of the rest of my group. I think we're just gonna back out and take our chances, finding our way through on our own. And it's some risks that are some stakes that are just too high, you know.
Agreed. Gunnar will be here if you change your mind. So as you guys kind of come together outside of this hut, Gunnar just kind of watches you as he smokes on his pipe and kind of curiously glancing at all of your goodies and baubles and things as he kind of stares on.
Yeah, we're basically sorry. The chat's going crazy right now. We're all trying to figure out what the fuck to do. That's why we're all quiet. So
I
give us
assume.
just a second. Yeah, everybody's just huddling up right now.
So I just want to make sure we got our options correct from the DM, not Pixel. So either one, we play the guess game, where if we win, he gives us the map. If we lose, he gets all our stuff of whoever gets stabbed.
Anybody who dies forfeits all of their goods and coin to Pixel.
If we stab the wrong person, do they die?
So for this particular game, we're going to ignore things like armor class and hit points for this particular scenario. They will go to death saving throws, not immediate death, but death saving throws. Yes.
So we could bring them back, and they wouldn't technically be dead,
Correct.
but we would still lose all of our gold. Everyone's gold.
Correct. If the party does not manage to find Pixel before the time is up, you still get the map. However, Pixel gets to liberate every single coin off of every single party member.
Option 2 is the chance game just to look at the map. If he wins, he gets everybody's gold. And if he loses, we get to look at the map and then try and remember it.
He said he would give you the map for free if you beat him.
But I wasn't it when we were discussing the 5,000 just to look at it, he started going up in price. He wanted to play a game for it.
On Blade's persuasion to bring the price back down to the original 5,000 is kind of what the game was for.
Okay, so that game would be if we decided to use Blade's persuasion check into the game, it would be if Blade won, we get to look at the map. If Blade lost, who would lose gold? Everyone?
I think everyone.
As far as this card game goes, the party's gold is versus his map, essentially.
Okay.
And it's a glance. You don't get to take the map with you.
Yes. Okay, gotcha. All right, yeah. Sorry, we're just trying to, like Dakota said, we're just trying to figure out all of our options.
Well, I thought I had worded it cleverly, but you guys were obviously conspiring against me. But essentially, it was 5,000 to view. Even if he loses, you pay him 5,000, and then he shows you the map. And if he wins, he gets everybody's gold. It was this card game.
Yeah, so it was win-win for him. So I mean, if we're gonna risk the entire party's gold, we might as well play the guess game and hope we get the map to take with us. If we're gonna play a game, we might as well play high stakes. If we're not playing a game, we either need to scrounge up the cash, just straight up buy the map, or we need to get the fuck on our way.
All right, so let me look at the. I mean, I have Team Blade and I. That's over 3,000. Oh, that's a lot of money. I mean,
I can throw in like 3,500.
I got about 16. Blade says he has 18. So we're over. We're like 2/3 of the way there. Over 2/3. If I mean, that's with us already dropping almost all of our gold. I mean, we might, like you said, we might as well
Well,
just play the card game.
Yeah, I mean, the only rub there is like we could spend most of our gold to just straight up buy this map, or we could risk all of our gold and potentially
Lose it.
we'll losing equipment too if we play and somebody does die, because there's a fucking twist. Like, this guy's a trickster, they warned us he's devious. Like, Sean's not telling us everything, and I'm saying that in front of Sean right now. Like, something is fucking up here.
No, I meant the card game, not the guess game.
The
game.
card game seems
Yeah, we have 3 choices.
way too fucking risky, because if we win, we just get a look at the card game, right?
No,
Like,
if we win, we get the map. If we lose,
If
we
you
lose.
win guess, you get the map. You can take it with you for free, and you get to take it with you. With the card game, you still cough up $5,000, and you get to look at the map.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, you were correct, Renwick. Okay.
So I say we either buy it or play guess. Guess is riskier. If we buy it outright, we take the map, we fucking walk, we don't risk our equipment. But we play guess. If we win, maybe we don't spend 9K. But we need to make a call now, because we've been arguing this for about an hour, and I've already burned through my cigarette.
All right.
Also 9.
All in favor. Guess yay or nay.
Pixel says yay.
You're
Oh,
So,
sorry.
You would write down who the name of whoever it is beforehand, but how would we know how to answer?
Okay, so the spirit of this game is going to go down like this. You guys are just going to have to keep an eye on your PMs, and I will roll a dice, and then I will send you a small little blurb about a possession and a few, just not a lot, a little light reading, a paragraph or two on the do's and don'ts of this particular game. However, it'll just be a private message sent to one of you after I roll a dice to determine who that would be.
So instructions will be included for the person who is possessed.
Correct, and it is obvious that Pixel is a little devious. So just because you ask a question doesn't necessarily mean he has to tell the truth. He's obviously trying to trick you, as your failure greatly benefits him. So, but yes, that will essentially be what goes down. You guys will have 3 questions each. We'll roll initiative to see what order we ask the questions. We will roll them around the circle. You can ask the questions to an individual or the party. And you guys just have to determine who Pixel is hanging out with.
All right, so casting a vote, yay or nay. Blade. Guess.
Let's play this little game of guessing.
All right, let's risk it. Glader, yay. Logus.
I'm good either way.
All right, so that's a swing vote. Locris, yay or nay.
Fuck it, you live once.
All right, that's 3 yays, 1 swing vote. So I guess we're playing.
Pixel.
Well, it should be unanimous since everybody's life is on the line.
Fair enough. Okay, Renwick, yay or nay? That's fair. That's a good point.
Well, I've been with you boys through far enough shit that I'm not gonna let you go through this without me. So you might as well sign my ass up as well.
Alrighty. Well, Pixel, lead the way.
And he does. He sits up and wanders into his house, and you guys kind of follow suit. It is a small, kind of humble cabin. There are jars of herbs on a bookshelf, jars of herbs and half books, and a sleeping almost like a hammock set up in the corner. And a humble table off to the side, a single chair with a single candle. And in the center of this room is a large, ornate iron cauldron. It has tons and tons of different carvings all along the sides on the iron cast lid. And it looks to be not only finely crafted, but really heavy duty, like heavy duty cauldron.
Sean. So since he walked in first and we followed him in, can I attempt to sleight of hand as I'm walking in?
Sleight of hand what? Sorry, you glitched out for just a second.
Stash my coin pouch since he walked in the house before us.
Oh, absolutely. You can do that.
All right. So I want to try to stash it on something nearby as I'm walking in because I don't want it to be on my person. That's a +5. I've been rolling like dick tonight though, so we'll see. 16.
And so, there is like a little bit of a bush. It's pretty natural around his cabin. So, you find a bush next to a rock that you think you could identify on your way out of here, and just kind of manage to masterfully hide and disguise your coin purse.
Can I do the same thing?
Give me a sleight of hand.
It's a 13 plus 5, 18 total.
Similar to Renwick, you run off and find a small bush where you can stash your coin purse for later retrieval. Okay, so as you guys kind of enter this humble cabin, he kind of continues, he's rambling under his breath a bit, so it looks to be a little bit of excited, but he stokes the fire underneath this cauldron to kind of get it really hot and bothered. And as he does so, you guys notice there is a small shrine to Nerul, and he does have a necklace of a holy symbol of Nerul hanging across his neck. That being said, he kind of goes over the rules one more time as he's fiddling with things. He says, the rules are simple. Pixel recreate a concoction in the cauldron in the center of the room. Each participant in the ritual must offer a drop of blood into the cauldron, including Pixel. And he takes a knife out of his modest robes, and it is a finely crafted weapon. But you do notice that it, alongside a few other baubles in this hut, looks to have the holy symbol of Nerul on it. And he pricks his finger and puts a single drop of blood into this cauldron. As he pulls the lid off of this cauldron, you notice it's a very heavy, like iron lid. It probably could be used as a shield. It's hefty and thick. And as he kind of pulls this lid off, there's this bubbling kind of brownish green liquid that he adds a drop of his blood to. and every once in a while you can see what looks to be maybe a fragment of a bone or a small cluster of mushrooms float to the top and then sink back down into the cauldron. As he does this, he passes the knife down the line to each of you so you can prick your finger and add a drop of blood for the ritual. He then says, everyone, including Pixel, must donate the blood. Do any of you protest to donating a drop of blood? Or are you complacent with this?
Yeah, Glader will begrudgingly take the small dagger and actually no, he doesn't take his dagger. He pulls out his own dagger and pricks his finger on his dagger and drops a couple drops of blood into the cauldron.
Pixel nods and just kind of turns and hands the dagger on.
Renwick will do the same. He'll pull out the dagger that's been embellished with the Sands of Justice logo and prick his finger and put a drop in.
So Logis will try to slide a hand of pomegranate and slice that into the cauldron instead. No, I'm just kidding.
A pomegranate on you?
I was going to let it happen if you had a pomegranate in your inventory.
I'll prick my finger on one of my arrows and drop the blood in.
And Blade?
Blade is going to accept the knife that he was offering and use that knife to get the cut and drop the blood in.
Okay, as he hands you the knife, he says out loud to the party, "You must use this blade when you plunge it into the vessel, or it does not work. Hurts a lot." Now, that everyone has added blood, he recovers the vessel, the cauldron. He recovers the cauldron and adds a bit of flame to underneath it and blows into it, kind of heating it up. And he says, "All right, so everyone drinks from the cauldron, and things will then get fuzzy for a short time. When our senses return, one of you will be gone, and I, Pixel, may look to be you, but you will not be me. Around the cauldron you must stand. 3 questions you may ask. When you have found which vessel Pixel resides in, plunge the dagger into the heart of the vessel, and set Pixel free. Stabbing Pixel in this way does not hurt your friends, nor Pixel, but it ends the game with you, the winners. If you do not find Pixel after all questions are asked, then Pixel must reveal himself, and Pixel will give you what you seek, but only in exchange for every coin each of you carry upon you. Every last one. Also, side rule, anyone who dies within Pixel's home before the game has concluded becomes property of Pixel, including all of the coins and baubles on their person. Are we all clear?"
Sounds good. Well, not good, but
Oh,
kind of shitty, honestly. But yeah, understood.
Well, you've already got our blood, so let's get this fucked up game on the way.
He kind of nods, and once again, after getting what was in this cauldron nice and hot and bubbly, he takes the lid off and hands it to Gladier. And Gladier, it's hefty. It's like a shield. And he stands in the boiling liquid and looks out to the party. He says, "Well, drink up." And he serves a cup of liquid from underneath his legs while he's standing in this pot to each of you to sip upon. And it's not like a sip or like a shot. It's like a flagon of mead, like a very large helping of this liquid. And he passes one out to each of you and has one for himself as well. And you see him just kind of pound it, guzzle it down greedily. As he does so, he tosses the flagon to the ground and looks to make sure the party has done the same.
And Glader begrudgingly takes his drink.
Okay, you chug this drink, Gladiator, and go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, I get a save? It's my middle ground for saves. Oh, nah, great. Not the roll I wanted in this situation. Total 14.
Gladier, it doesn't take much. You know, you're this groggish liquid tastes like a hot whiskey, and it's chunky, and it's not a pleasant situation. As you're chewing your way through, like an ice cube of mushrooms, your eyes like glaze over immediately. Like you feel the effects, and they are strong. Like the entire room seems to fade to a light blue color around you, and you're just kind of in a daze temporarily. It looks like everything has either sped up or maybe slowed down. You're not sure.
Oh man, guys, this feels a little weird. And he gets passes the cup on back to Pixel to give to someone else.
He already passed out everybody a mug, but he looks to you as you hand it back, and in a very distorted voice, "Would you like some more?"
No, I think I'm good on that. Thank you. Oh shit.
He turns to the party.
Bottoms up.
Give me a con save, Locris.
Well, if all the cool kids are doing it, I'll go ahead and down mine as well.
Yeah, as you down some of this nasty liquid, this nasty broth, go ahead and give me some Constitution saving throws.
I finally rolled decent.
I don't want to be the last one to go for a drink, so I'll go next.
I rolled a 17 for a 21.
14 for Locris.
Locris, similar to Gladier, you kind of fade into this, like everything's got like a tint of blue, as if you're looking at the world through blue colored glasses, and your eyes kind of glaze over as you drink this like hot whiskey malt that's got some sort of earthy and herby chunkage to it, and as you choke it down, it takes effect quite quickly. Renwick, you, after a 21, you finish your drink, and you definitely, you feel like you've just taken, a good shot of moonshine or a hard whiskey. Like, you feel very drunk, but you don't have quite the daze in your eye that Gladier and Locris do.
Before Glader starts tripping balls any more than he already is, he's going to reach into his pack and pull out a standard healing potion and kind of just hold it in the air and like wave it back and forth, like making sure everyone in his party sees it. And then he's going to put it on the ground by his feet.
Okay. Logos with a 19. The world looks a bit blue. The whole world around you, everywhere in this cabin, is a weird like tint of blue, and you just your eyes kind of glaze over, and this malty hot beverage with chunks of earthy herbs and mushrooms is not pleasant to choke down, and it doesn't take much. It hits you pretty hard. You're like glazy eyed and very kind of mellow, but like I said, you're viewing the room through a blue tint at the moment. I believe that is Blade.
Yeah, 13 for Blade.
You too kind of get distorted and not quite able to fight off the effects of this potion. It's definitely potent. As you swallow this hot, chunky liquid, your world becomes a vivid shade of blue. Everything's got a nice blue tint to it, and things seem distorted somehow. Time is like faster and slower all at the same time. It's weird. Renwick, after everyone has consumed the beverage, the tabaxi in the cauldron looks about and takes the lid to the cauldron from Gladier, who looks to be in a daze and doesn't really put up much resistance. And he turns to you, Renwick, and hands you the cauldron lid. And he says, well now, put it over the top of me as I climb into this cauldron. And as he stands in the already boiling water, he kind of slowly squats in. And he says, now, put it over me, and when the screaming stops, the game has begun.
Well, after everything that's been said, I'd be more than happy to put the lid on this fucking cauldron. And he'll very aggressively just put the cauldron top on.
As you know, it takes a bit of effort. It takes a hefting. It's quite heavy, but you do slide it over, and as you do, it seems once the cauldron seals, the heat seems to emanate from the bottom and crackle the wood, and the flames lick up just a bit higher briefly, and you do hear the garbled screaming of what appears to be a cat. After some time, this garbled screaming ends, and a slow, drifting haze seems to make its way out of the cauldron and around the room and the party, enveloping everyone in this sort of thick blue fog. And as you guys are kind of coming to fighting the effects of this awful remedy or potion of some kind you guys had to choke down, this room remains in a haze for the most part. Everything seems kind of a blur. Seems like outside is far away. There's only like a little bit of light coming in from one window, and outside has no real definition. You don't hear the birds chirping. You don't hear the crickets and the critters of the swamp. You just hear this embers burning, and this wafting smoke kind of eventually slowly trickles out of this cauldron, filling the room, but it does stop. It does slowly dissipate, leaving a light haze in the room and all of you standing around a cauldron. At this point, we're going to roll initiative to see who asks what and first.
Cool. 17 for Glader. Locris has a higher dex bonus if you're going by that for who goes first. Because we both got
Like,
17.
you don't have anything. You don't have any kind of bonus.
Me?
No, he'd have strength, not dex.
No, Blade. He just rolled a straight D20.
Oh, did I fuck that up? It's a +5 for that.
Oh, so you rolled a 17. Oh, so 3 17s.
That's wild. Okay, Locris and Blade, who's got the better decks?
Well, if he's at +5, it's definitely him.
So Blade, Locris, Glader.
I have a +9 initiative and rolled under all of y'all. Ridiculous.
the rolls tell a story. Or dice tell a story. Damn it, I fucked it up.
Logus is squinting at Gladier right now.
Okay, I have touched base with some direct messages. This is gonna be fun. All right, so as you guys stand around this cauldron, Renwick, you find that this dagger to Nerul that both Blade and Pixel pricked themselves with is in your hand, and you are first to ask the question. Now you can ask a question to an individual or the entire party. Your call. What's your question?
Oh, I didn't know I could address the entire party. That's a game changer. Oh God. Hmm. So the goal here is we each have 3 questions that we can ask, and the goal is to determine who is possessed. And that person, the possession cannot switch, correct? It's like we're just trying to. All right. Secret Hitler heard.
Great game.
Uh, hmm. I'm gonna turn to Logus, and I'm going to ask him, what was the name of the horse who jumped off of the cliff?
Logus, straight face because he's pretty blazed out of his mind right now. Oh, that's easy. John Bon Pony.
And Renwick will just give him a nod.
And as you pass the dagger to your right, Blade, you are there. It is your turn. Ask the party or an individual any question.
Hmm. Blade is going to look at Gladier and say, is it true what they say about Dragonborn in their tales?
Listen, I'm not sure where y'all have heard this rumor, but I don't have a tail. I never had a tail. I've never seen another Dragonborn with a tail.
So, as you ask the question, Blade, you then turn and pass the blade to your right, which is Locris. It is you. Now, ask a question to an individual or the party as a whole.
All right. Little Chris will look at Blade and ask him, what is the friend you left behind?
Well, I have many friends that I've left behind, but if there's one that you guys know about, it'd be my little friend Archie. And I mean, maybe Gibraltar.
With that, Locris, you pass the right. You pass the dagger to your right. Gladier, you're up.
Gladier kind of fiddles with the dagger in his hand nervously as he's just looking around the room, and his eyes stop on Locris. Locris, my friend. When we first met, you didn't quite look like yourself. What was the name, the alias that you were using the first time I met you in that tavern back in my hometown so long ago?
Damn. Well, luckily enough for me, it's usually my default fake name. Cat Clue.
And Glader just gives him a nod and passes the dagger on down to who's next.
And finally, Logos, you're up.
Shit. Logos is gonna address the party. What was the name of the headmaster at Wormhearth?
Did you say you addressed the party?
Yeah, ask the question of the party.
Can we walk over and whisper it in your ear so that?
Yeah, how do you want us to handle a group question, DM?
You can answer however you deem appropriate. You could whisper, you could shout it out.
Renwick will walk over and whisper into Logos's ear, and he'll say, "Well, it's Dorf, of course," and then just make his way back to where he was standing.
Is Renwick the only person who answers?
No, but I'm digging through my notes.
Yeah, same. Yeah, Glader will walk over as well, kind of follow suit as Renwick did. Kind of, also being slightly skeptical in this situation and very nervous. He also whispers in Logos's ear, "What's Headmaster Dorf," and slowly walks back towards his position.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Blade would do the same thing, kind of following it out everyone else's, lead there, just going up and Logos and just kind of hand on the shoulder in the ear and just say, "Yes."
And with that, I believe everyone has answered. So, back to the top of the round. Renwick, second question.
You decided to do her up.
Who's answer?
Oh boy.
I'm gonna be working.
Locris, did you answer?
Locris didn't
No, I
answer.
said I was going through my notes.
Oh, that's right, sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Dorf. There we go.
Okay, with that, we move on up to Renwick. Second question.
God, this is fucking tricky because I think I'm either overthinking this or underthinking this, and I can't decide. It's making it twice as bad.
Hey,
Oh,
Sean, so
fuck, I'm
with
stressed.
our eyes glazed over, does that mean I'm blind? Like, can I look at anybody?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a perception check.
It's a 22.
I mean, you can focus on the people around you. You know that they're there. That you know that they're your party. They look like your party, but you know they're shifting a little bit. They're like distorted, kind of like when you look into their face, the color of their face slowly changes, and the shadows seem to shift around the room. But you're aware and coherent for the most part, and you notice that. Most of the room is bathed in this like weird blue tint. Like looks like everything in the room except for you and your friends seems to be bathed in blue. But you and all your friends retain their normal color-ish, but the colors of like their skin and their clothes, their armor kind of like shift as the shadows dance around on it. But you know, you can see them and things.
Oh, yeah. So stressed right now.
I'm sweating.
Yeah, I don't know what to fucking ask because, oh god.
Like I have the AC on in my house, but like usually I don't feel the cold, and like right now I'm fucking shivering because I'm fucking nervous.
I'm stressed as fuck, and I don't know how to ask questions because there's something here we're missing because everybody's asked personal questions and we've all known the answers. So what the fuck?
Is what the fuck the question to the party, or?
It might as well be at this point. Jesus Christ! Of course, I roll high initiative in a time where I need more time to think.
Low, high key, really glad I rolled last time initiative now.
Yeah, seriously, I'm kicking myself. I finally fucking roll something decent tonight, and it makes me go first, and I have to be the one to ask the first questions every round.
Well, I appreciate you kind of stalling this out and giving me more time.
Yep. No, just totally stalling right now because I'm trying to generate something that might actually be useful, and I'm pretty sure I'm just going to burn a question because I can't think of anything that's going to get us out of this. I would like to address the party since I was the last person to not be affected by the potion when we drank it. I want to address the party and ask them who placed the lid on the cauldron as everybody started tripping.
Glader's gonna, same thing he did last time with Logus, kind of walk up to Renwick and whisper in his ear, "You did, little friend," and then walk back.
Logus will walk up and do the same thing. Oh, hi. You did, Jeffrey.
I was too busy not trying to puke my guts out. I have no fucking idea.
Blade will walk up to Renwick and be like, "Well, I think it was you. You looked like you were happy to seal that motherfucker in there."
All right.
That's everybody, right? So
I do believe everybody
so
answered.
as we pass around the dagger, when can we take a shot?
As long as you're the speaker and you have the dagger, you can take a shot.
So are we aware enough and able to? Cause I know Logus kind of asked this too. Are we like kind of conscious enough to? I mean, obviously we can hear the answers. Can we? Can I roll an insight check? Or is it
Upon who? Renwick?
Can I
Logris?
100% roll on Logris?
If you guys want to roll insight on Locris, I will absolutely allow you to do this.
They're too easy. I don't. Now I feel like it's the wrong move. No, I'm gonna do it anyway.
Well, I mean, regardless of an insight check, if Locris was, it would be a deception roll versus your insight. So, a high insight and a higher deception, it might be different. So it'd be like an insight versus deception roll essentially.
I feel like in this particular moment, while you guys are rolling insight, Renwick just takes, like, he's gonna just have to trust his gut here, and he's gonna walk around very slowly with the dagger, eyeballing each of you, and then he's just gonna stab Locris and hope for the best.
Yes, Locris, give me some death saving throws.
When did the ring pop in?
Yeah, it does actually. If you fail a death save.
If
Okay.
you fail all of them or just one?
Just one.
Oh, okay.
So Renwick, you walk over to Locris and you plunge this dagger of Nerul deep into his chest, and he collapses to the ground.
Potato.
So, oh god.
He briefly kind of chokes and gargles on his blood.
Glader, seeing that he's not popping back up, is gonna grab the potion at his feet and just run over to Locris and dump the contents into his mouth.
Okay, Gladier, go ahead and give me, we'll say a wisdom saving throw.
Oh shit. What the fuck?
There it is. I fucking knew it.
That is exactly when I needed it. Nat 20 for a 27.
You kind of like fight the weird, trippy side effects of this whatever concoction you have swallowed, and you do manage to make your way over to Locris and give him a potion.
All right, so you heal what is 2d4 plus 2, I think, or 2d4 plus 4 for standard.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2d4 plus 2. So you heal 7 points, Locris.
Yay.
Locris, you kind of come back to life with a deep breath forced into your lungs. Yeah, you cough and you look up to be being cradled in Gladier's arms.
Gingerly cradled.
Bat my eyes at him. And then me mug Renwick.
So, does that mean we lose? He hasn't come back yet, has he?
Well, no, everybody still has more questions. So, I mean, my apologies. In all fairness, you're the only one that didn't have an actual answer for that last question, so it did seem rather suspicious, but that's on me. I'll take full blame there. You can stab me next.
But don't you think he would know who he gave the lid to the damn bucket to?
That's fair.
Fucking duh.
Well, I mean, at least in Renwick's defense, at least we've ruled out one person So whose turn is it next? Blade?
I think it's me.
Yes, if Renwick passes the after he wipes Locris's blood off of the dagger, he then hands it to Blade.
Ugh. All right. I guess Blade is going to kind of ask this question to the party. He'll be like, "All right, my friends, we've all faced together quite a slew of dangerous creatures, but there's been one in particular that has had a particular attraction or desire or taste for my friend Logus and I. What is that beast?"
Glader's gonna, looking quite guilty and a little embarrassed, walk over to Blade and whisper in his ear. It was a. Wait, no, shit. Am I remembering? See, now I'm like second guessing myself. Hold up. Retcon. I'm gonna check the notes.
Dagger.
As
Can you
Gladir
repeat?
fumbles with himself, Renwick will walk over and whisper into Blade's ear, "The green dragon, if my memory
Okay,
is
yes.
accurate."
Can you repeat the question?
There have been many dangerous creatures that we've fought as a group together, but what one in particular had a desire or a taste for uh, Logus and I specifically?
Logus will walk up to him and whisper, "That's that fucking elf-eating green dragon that I shot through the eye with my fucking arrow. Piece of shit dragon."
So retconning, Glader didn't move because he was still thinking, because Alec had to go back through his notes to double check his answer was correct. Also, now walks over and whispers in Blade's ear, "It was the green dragon. He did not like you guys one bit." And then walks back.
So as Gladier fumbles over his words, Logan's just squinting his eyes at him.
Gladier did not fumble. Alec fumbled. There's a difference.
I was gonna say Blade had had that dagger ready.
Locris is still just kind of sitting up, rubbing his chest, and says, "That's that damn dragon. That green one."
Blade will just nod.
All right, I think that's everyone. And as you pass the blade, Locris, it comes to you.
All right. While still rubbing his chest, Locris will look at Renwick. "So, Captain," obviously still hurt feelings in his voice, "what is the name of Gladier's little sister?" Now we'll just go niece. I forgot he actually had a little sister.
No, that's fair. The sister's in the bottle, but the niece's name is Kiri, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct. Pass on the dagger.
All right, moving on down. Gladier, your second question.
I'm all fucked up. Everyone specifically has answered a question directed towards them correctly. Everyone as a party, minus Locris, answered correctly, but Locris got stabbed. So we know it's not him because fucking Pixel Bitch is still in the cauldron.
Was that an inflection? Was that a question?
This
I'm
is
just kidding.
sorry, that was out of character. I should have specified that. That was Alec talking. Glader's gonna look towards Blade. Now, Locris asked you earlier which friend you left behind, and you said Archie. And well, he is a friend. Your new familiar friend. There are other friends that you left behind, two in particular that I can think of names of. You talked about it to us not too long ago. What are their names?
Blade will approach Gladier and whisper in his ear, "Well, those would be the two that got me into the business in the first place. Darius Stonewhistle and Venrir Hedgehopper."
God damn it.
Sorry, by the way.
Alright, Glader doesn't pass on the dagger yet.
You gonna stab somebody, Gladier?
I'm thinking about it. So, would Glader remember the question that Logus got asked? Logus, what question did you get asked?
One more time.
What question did you get asked? Because somebody asked you a specific question.
What was the name of the horse that died on the cliff?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, God. Who am I standing next to? Was there a particular?
In the circle, you've got Logos to your right and Locris to your left.
God. Uh, and Glader's just gonna go with his gut. First gut instinct of who it was. Walk up to Blade and stab him in the chest.
As you walk up to Blade and plunge this dagger of Nerul into his chest. Blade, go ahead and give me a death saving throw.
God damn it.
I trusted you.
Our rings are only a one-time use, right? For the bringing back to life.
Correct. Upon your first failed death save, which after you plunge this blade into Blade, he collapses to the ground and begins choking on his own blood. Blade, give me a second death saving throw.
Shit. Fuck.
All right, man. One more.
All right, bye. Later, give him 1 point of lay on hands.
Oh wait, no,
I can give
lay
him
on
even
hands.
more. I just want
Lay on hands.
no, wait. I just want to see what happens when he goes
No,
like 3. I got to
He
use
hasn't rolled it yet. He hasn't rolled the save yet.
If one of you guys want to do something, what would
Lay
you
on
like to do?
hands.
Okay,
I'm right there anyway.
give me a wisdom saving throw to fight the effects of this brew that you have drinking to kind of collect yourself enough to bust out some lay on hands.
Fucking tabaxi. God damn it. That's not great. 13?
Also, why just the tabaxi? The guy's a dick. He's not a dick because he's a tabaxi. Did we just find out the Gladiator's racist against tabaxis?
No, if he was a human, I would have said this fucking human. Don't. I'm too stressed for this.
Oh, yeah, a 13 is not quite enough. You find yourself struggling to recall the words. They're on the tip of your tongue. You mumble, you stutter. A few hand movements gone awry. You just quite didn't deliver to pull this little lay on hands off quick enough. Go ahead
Can
and give
I-
me one more. Oh, Logos, go ahead. Try. Give me a
Yeah,
wisdom saving throw.
That's a 19 total. 15 plus 4.
So, Logos, as you go to cast this spell, it fizzles in your hand, and you immediately kind of feel like this is like a field of anti-magic. You have been there. You get the distinct impression that spells will not work in this situation.
So was that my one action, or can I try one more thing?
We're not an initiative or anything, just for the order. You can do whatever you like.
Well, I want to just run up and drop a berry in his mouth.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
Do I re-roll, or is that 19?
Oh no,
still
you
safe?
have a berry on you. You could dispense it to your buddy, but
Yeah,
I will
passed
need.
on.
No, you passed the wisdom saving throw, so you're good to go. You fight the effects of this weird concoction you have drank and manage to
Yeah,
jam a good berry into Blade's face to stop the current pool of blood gushing out of it.
yeah. So you're back to 1 HP. Well, you're back standing.
Sweet Jesus.
As a Blade comes to conscious, Glader just kind of pats his chest. And like, I'm really sorry. This is all pretty fucked, and just kind of like helps him slowly like pull him to his feet and stand up.
Blade will kind of mutter and be like, "You would have made a good skin for my tambourine."
Wait, what was that?
The tambourine reference I made earlier with using your skin.
Okay. And Glader, I guess, walks back to his position, traumatized look on his face as he's staring at the dagger before he hands it off to who's that?
Logos, you hand it to Logos. Logos, Gladier hands you a very bloody dagger he just used to stab the shit out of Blade.
All right. So Logos is going to look at Gladier and Renwick, and he's going to say, "All right, fellas, there's only 3 of us left." And while I ask the question, can I do an insight check on both of them?
Absolutely. You address the question to the party then?
Yeah. Oh my god, that's an 18 plus 7
Okay, so like 25
for
insight.
25.
And what do you ask them?
Which one of you is Pixel?
It's not me. I wouldn't mean. I didn't want to stab Blade. And he said that nobody would get hurt if he was in them and they got stabbed. I didn't think. I thought it was him. I thought he won't get hurt.
Do I believe him?
Yeah, he seems to be telling the truth.
So I'm gonna turn to the captain and say, "Are you Pixel, Captain?"
That was to you, Renwick, I think. You might be on mute.
Sorry, I was on mute. No, Renwick looks at you and says, "No, it's me. It's always been me. Just me."
Do I believe him? With my 25 insight?
Seems honest enough.
Ah. Well, Logus is gonna have the blade, and please don't take this as trading, Captain, and stab Renwick in the heart.
And as you plunge the dagger in, he says, "I'll remember this."
Renwick, as you collapse to the ground, gurgling blood, go ahead and give me a death save.
Death save, just a flat d20.
Flat d20, correct.
Oh, shit. Wrong chat. Hey! The boy's alive.
You collapse to the ground and start kind of choking out your own blood. Go ahead and give me a second one.
Since I don't see Pixel pop out, once he's like gurgling and stuff, I'll drop a berry in his mouth. Since I'm standing over him, I just stand him.
Okay, yeah. You manage to shirk off the effects for the sake of brevity. You know, you kind of realize what's going on at this point, you know, and kind of make it a point to have a berry ready, and you help Renwick out.
And Renwick will just cough as he comes back to consciousness. Just, oh, fuck. If I'm being honest, I was just going to stab myself on my turn to prove a point, so thank you for getting that out of the way. Fuck, did that hurt.
Sorry, Captain. No hard feelings.
Renwick, as Logos helps you up, he also hands you a knife covered in mostly your blood.
Wonderful. So the only people that have not currently been stabbed are Logos and Gladier, and everybody has one question left, yeah?
Last round of questions, and Logos and Gladier are the only ones that have not been stabbed, correct?
That's fucking tricky. I don't like this. I'm gonna look at Logos and say, fuck, I'm overthinking this. All right, I'm gonna look at Logos and say, if I stab him, are we gonna have to turn around and stab you too? Because I'd rather just cut out the middleman.
Logan's gonna look confused. What? If you stab me, are you gonna have to stab me again? I didn't understand.
Stabs Logos.
As you plunge the dagger into Logos. Logos.
I totally didn't understand the question.
I know, it was very convoluted. I'm out of options, man. I'm fucking lost.
Logos, as this dagger gets plunged into your chest, you collapse to the ground. Go ahead and give me a death saving throw. Oh man.
Wow, great.
You're the only one.
I know.
So as you kind of drift through the darkness, something calling you, something deep in nature, something you both familiar and terrifying. You drift towards this dark entity and suddenly realize you're surrounded by roots, and underground wildlife somehow. And, you feel like a connection with the circle of life briefly. And then suddenly you are stopped, jolted to a stop. Something has grabbed your hand to pull you backwards. But as you look back, the ring of your order glows brightly, and with a quick thrust, whips you back through the darkness and into your own body, thrusting you forward. You recover immediately with 1 hit point upon failing, but your ring of your order immediately it turns to ash. It is no more. You have to remove it from your inventory. Also, the 1 temporary or the 1 hit point you lost permanently, you regain from this. So your max hit points go up by 1 after this ring dissipates. Logos, you spit out a mouthful of blood, and you guys all kind of are now standing around a circle, staring at Gladier.
And Captain, I use my ring the most.
So, following initiative, Blade, you find this dagger of Nerul in your hand.
Oh man. And Gladiator's the only one that hasn't been stabbed.
Stab first, ask questions later. If you haven't used your question, the game's not over yet.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think he'll just go over and stab Gladiator. It's ridiculous, but I think that's the move.
All right, and Gladier, as you throw both hands up as Blade approaches, no, yeah, Blade punches a dagger into your chest, and you too fall and collapse to the ground. Go ahead and give me a death saving throw.
I'll roll this in the chat.
That's a pass. As Gladier kind of collapses to the ground and starts choking on his own blood, go ahead and give me a second death save.
Alrighty.
Oh man, I was about to say I'm gonna drop a berry in your mouth. I couldn't unmute fast enough.
As Gladier kind of fades into the darkness, Gladier, you find yourself in a strange place. Up above you, first of all, you're surrounded by a plane of darkness, but up above you, there's like a warm, shining glow that just kind of peaceful, and you can hear birds chirping in the distance and whatnot. And aside from that, you see like off more towards the horizon, like a dull gray light, and the sounds of cheering and battle. And as you kind of have your choice, if you kind of look towards either of these, the ring on your hand snatches you into a direction, and you fly through the darkness, plunged back into your own body. And you too are immediately revived to 1 hit point. However, your ring, glowing brightly, suddenly turns to ash, and you must remove it from your inventory.
Alrighty.
Blade's feeling a lot of regret and sadness.
And Claire just coughs up some blood and looks at him. No, that was fair. I earned that. We're good. And then slowly kind of gets back up. Goodbye, beautiful ring. Would have liked to use this on a BBG, but you know what? It served its purpose.
I'll sell you mine.
Oh, where is my? There it is. Put up the bag on whatever else things. Yes. Oh.
So, you guys are just kind of holding this dagger, standing around this cauldron, looking at one another. All of you very, very wounded. What do you do from here?
Who's still got
Go look in the
questions?
cauldron.
Everybody's been stabbed.
Okay, so what do you guys do here from here? Would you say, Locris?
Go look in the cauldron.
As you push the top of this cauldron off, a bit of smoke bellows out into the room, and sitting cross-legged in the cauldron is Pixel, smoking a pipe. After you push the lid off, he looks around and say, "Oh, did I win? There's a lot of blood in here, but no dead bodies. That sucks. Oh, what? Hey, oh, hello."
We still have one more round, but I'm going to take a guess. I pull out my dagger. Activate the poison using my packed weapon and stab him in the heart.
And yeah, you you plunge this dagger into. You plunge this dagger into Pixel, and go ahead and roll out some damage on that.
Eat a dick, you tabaxi motherfucker.
Hey! You don't have to bring his race into this.
You did it first. That made it okay.
You know what? I'm gonna come
Mob
out and say I'm racist towards tabaxis now after this fucking. I will hunt every tabaxi in the land now because of this bullshit.
Seriously, he's lucky we don't fucking skin him.
I could use a nice fur coat.
And I don't know if a 15 passes the con save, but that was his con save for the poison.
No, it's a 15 con save.
Okay, so he met it then. Yeah, as you stab him, you give him one swift stab, and he looks very wounded. He kind of holds the open wound, his blood kind of pours out. He looks to it, and then looks back to you guys, and or looks back to you, Locris, and says, "Ow, shit! You won, alright? Shit, you figured it out! I'll give you mine for free! Don't kill me! Holy shit, man!" "You're supposed to stab me with that knife," and he points to the the ceremonial knife.
I got confused from the blood loss.
Glader's gonna walk over, grab him around the collar, pull him out of the cauldron, and just toss him on the ground. Sorry, friend, you just look like you need a little bit of help getting out of there. Didn't want you to get a little too hot.
As you kind of look into the bathwater, or after you've pulled him out, it is bathwater. You know, it went from a weird, murky, gross liquid for you guys to like now it's got crystal clear, warm water with like rose petals in it and stuff. As you throw him to the ground, you say, "Whoa, okay. I mean, you win, you guys. You don't have to be crazy, okay?"
Just give us the damn map.
Okay, I mean, if you want it. He walks over to like it looks to be a dust-covered old like rug hanging on this wall. And he adjusts it slightly and then takes a quarterstaff and gives it a good thwack once, twice, 3 times. And a massive pile of dust just falls off of this tapestry. And it is a very large, like, it takes up all of one wall in this small little cabin of his. It is a large picture of Gunner Mountain, or this centralized volcano upon Wafet Isle. And it looks to be like a map of a honeycomb of networks that go in many different directions. And as he kind of has cleaned off the map for you, with his quarterstaff, he points out, okay, so the honeycombs are random. Some caves are just deep caves. Some caves honeycomb into others and connect. And essentially, the fire giants, they all stay wherever they want. Some build homes as a single family unit. Others are like more of a clan, but this general has united them all recently. Now, he points to like the bottom level of the volcano. He says most of the caves in the bottom layer of this volcano are for the unworthy in their eyes. The slaves. Now, not normal slaves like the ones they get from the city. The ones that they bully from the surrounding areas. Many ogres, orcs, trolls, goblins, the like. Moving on up to the next layer, he moves his stick slightly higher up the mountain. This layer is where where they lord over like the unworthy bunches, but a little more in the eyes of the fire giants, as they are also giants. But many hill giants are pressed into servitude, and this is where they stay. And also the old fire giants, the ones who cannot fight anymore, they also stay on this level. He moves the stick on up even higher. Now this is prime real estate for the fire giants. They roam in all directions from here, and this is where the warriors, the strong, will be. This is where anyone clamoring for a shot at the top, this is their neck of the woods. And then he points even a bit farther up the mountain and says, there are only a few grand layers, more at the top of the mountain. And I have it on good authority that the general has cleared all of them out but one, his own. So, it is at the top of the mountain, kind of isolated from the others, but the general is likely to have a small security forces, as well as many slaves. The rooms, the top layers, they all are grand, even by a giant standards. They have many rooms and many slaves from many races mine ore fresh in the mountain, and the masters are not too far away. But alas, this rug is the last remaining relic of my now dying people. He looks at his fresh stab wound. You may take it for suffering through the tricks of Gunner.
And Glider walks up and snatches the map from him, gives him a little growl. It's the fire kind of build up a little in between his teeth. Well played. But if we ever do meet again, don't try and pull that over on us. Anything like that ever again, because it might not end so cordial as it is today.
That's why I asked if you played guest before, because you only ever played guest one time.
He just grunts and then he just walks out of the tent.
As you go to walk out, you find nothing physically stopping you, but your face crashes into a barrier you did not see before. You do not seem to be able to get out of this room.
He's gonna put a hand on the hilt of his sword and just turn around and give a glare towards Pixel.
Yeah, if Renwick saw you walk into an invisible barrier, he'd do the same.
As Pixel, you guys kind of turn and glare at him. His hands kind of slowly shoot up. Say, hey, you got to finish the job. You stuck here with me until you get that dagger, and, you know, he gestures to himself.
Oh, I volunteer, unless anyone else wants to.
Well, I'd be more than happy to step in, but well, at this point, I feel like we all deserve a stab, and we've all got our own daggers. To be fair, so
I think we have to use his specific dagger.
Are we still glazed over and limited?
Oh yeah,
You've realized the effects and managed to shirk them off by now. They were mostly to slow you from aiding your allies should you decide to maybe kill one.
If that's the case, I'm gonna walk over behind Gladier and I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on him at 2nd level. You're at 1 HP right now in case he tries any funny stuff. Roll it out in the chat.
thank you, friend. Well, if nobody has any objections, I'll gladly finish this little game.
I already got to stab him once. I'd be happy to do it again. I like my dagger better.
16 points left.
Thank you very much. Yeah, he Glader turns around and pats you on the shoulder before walking over and Locust, do you still have the dagger? Because you had it last, but you pulled out your own dagger.
No, I never had the dagger.
No, we handed it to you. The turn ended on you, so you would have had the dagger. Then I think you pulled out your own.
Oh, all right, then I will hand you the dagger.
All right. And later just walks by without even like stopping his movement, just grabs the dagger, and stops and looks down at Pixel, puts his hand on his shoulder, and just stabs him right in the heart.
As you stab Pixel right in the heart and you you drive it true, Pixel looks down at this dagger as a little bit of blood begins to flow. And then suddenly something odd happens. A wind begins to pick up within the cabin. A strong breeze at first, but it twirls and twirls and twirls, and it begins tearing books off of the wall, throwing his one single table and chair up and over in a maelstrom of wind and power. It is so strong that it rips the walls off of his home, and the roof goes flying out of sight. You see him in the center of all of this maelstrom of wind and now spinning rain and a crack of thunder off in the background. As this dagger plunged deep into him begins to glow brighter and brighter and brighter. A bright silver spark just seems to kind of keep erupting from his chest, and he laughs maniacally out loud as he slowly levitates into the air. You guys feel a strange connection to this dagger. You feel as if you can hear your own heartbeats within it. And as you guys look upon it, 5 individual red gems slowly begin to glow, one at a time. Ping, ping, ping. And as they do, this maelstrom of wind and rain picks up and becomes just a torrent of a storm. I need everybody to go ahead and give me dexterity saving throws.
What the hell, Sean? Everyone. I'm assuming everyone's within 10 feet of me or protection. Yeah, everyone. If everyone's within 10 feet of me, they get a +3.
Okay, great. Yeah,
Or
you can. Yeah, do it.
With that +3, it's 25 for Renwick.
Yeah, with that +3, I got a 24 for Locust.
23 for later.
24 for Blade.
You said it's +3, right?
+3 for my aura.
Yeah, that's 23 for.
Holy
for-
shit. The whole party's over 20.
You guys all become fucking ninjas as all this shit is happening and flying around you, debris and rocks and furniture and pieces of wall and roof. You guys are dipping and diving and ducking and bobbing and weaving around all of it. And as this individual stands hovering in the middle of all this with a bright silver dagger with 5 glowing beads protruding out of his chest, he calls out, "Oh, perhaps my line is not finished after all. I have fulfilled my oath to Nerul. Thank you, you merciful fools, for ending my torments." And as quick as it all happens, with a flash of lightning, you guys are left alone in the swamp. And it is now midnight.
Oh, goody. So we just released a god. All right. Well, while we get resituated here, I just want to take a moment to give a round of applause to Sean for that fucking.
Yeah, sincerely, we've been talking in the chat and like, fuck you, but also goddamn, that was beautiful. I've never witnessed experienced players get so tormented over such a very simple riddle. Like, the second that we all answered the questions right, we should have thought to check the cauldron, and we just stabbed each other instead because that seemed like the easy option.
And then there was another twist where we released some fucking demon god worshiper something or another. God damn it, Sean.
Yeah, after the reveal of the cauldron, I didn't hear anything for like the next 5 minutes because I was so befuddled and pissed and impressed and all kinds of shit at once.
So many emotions all at once.
Yeah, we just now I don't know what the fuck we just let loose on the world. Some kind of tyrant that's gonna fuck up the world now. Great.
Well, now we got another side mission to take care of down the road.
Yeah, but another question is, did the locals even know what the gunners were? Was he even the gunner? Like, what the fuck just happened? Like,
I don't think the clerics would have sent us up here if they knew what the fuck he was.
they're all in on it. They're all worshippers of Nerul here. So I don't know anymore.
Yeah, I mean, they said that they avoid him. They didn't say that he's a fucking imprisoned god or anything like that. I feel like they might not have known he was an imprisoned god. We would have got a bigger warning outside of like, oh, it's just that creepy dude that lives in the swamp. Every town's got that guy.
I feel like this is
Well, I imagine they
a
probably
rare
avoided him.
situation. Like I don't know if my gut feeling might not be like a god necessarily, but like some sort of worshiper cultist turn. I don't know. Maybe we fight a fucking lich.
All right. I just before we keep getting too far into the metagame, we got to get back in. I just wanted
Yeah,
to
yeah.
really congratulate Sean for that because he definitely earned that one there.
You duped us.
Round of applause. It's the first time we've all been in death saves.
Fucking finally. And you did it to yourselves.
We've been pretty close a couple times, but yeah, you definitely fucking you pinged a couple rings without having to do anything but sit in a fucking cauldron. So kudos to you, buddy. You definitely have made us even more paranoid now. Just when we thought we had you figured out.
There's got to be like one Teddy moment every arc, or is it really D&D? Yeah, you got to get screwed over at least once every time.
We will no
Alright,
longer
back
receive
in
help.
game.
Yeah, so the crickets are chirping, the moon is high in the sky. It is, looks like several hours have passed, whereas you guys felt like it was maybe this whole experience took 30, 40 minutes, you feel? But here you are, expelled into this swamp. And, just kind of looking into the night sky. However, the chirps of the wildlife, the buzz of insects does kind of slowly return to the area, and it is not as ominous as it once was. And you can see from this distance, lights off on the horizon that is the city of Lover's Rest, which you had come from.
Is the hut gone too? That we were just.
The hut is completely gone. Like this big windstorm just rushed through. It ripped up, not only the house but a lot of the local bricks, shrubbery, rocks, things.
All right, do we camp for the night since right about now just one bad trip would kill about half of us? Or do we just get back
no,
to town
no.
where we could pass out in a tavern?
Logus will start pulling out his rope and start get it 60 feet of his rope, start putting a spell on it and toss it into the air, and it'll get stuck like at a certain point, and then a black hole will open up at the top. And I was like, fuck that, I'm not staying out here, I'm not walking, I'm going into my secret hole. All of y'all are welcome if you want to come up. And he'll start climbing the rope and disappear into the hole.
I think the smartest thing we could do is have everybody get into Logus's hole right now, and he'll follow right behind you.
Can Glader?
Yeah, let's just stuff his
Sorry.
hole and let's just stuff his hole and get back some health.
Can Glader do some sort of like a religion or history check to see if he remembers learning anything about neural? Yeah, neural.
Go ahead and give me a knowledge religion check.
Okay. I'm the worst paladin because my religion sucks. That's a 7. Don't know shit.
Yeah, with the 7, it's just what I dropped in the chat for you guys. Nerul, the god of death, neutral evil, known as the Reaper, foe of all good, hater of life, bringer of darkness, king of all gloom, a bunch of other fancy little names. His worshippers, who are mostly evil necromancers and rogues. The domains he's associated with are death, evil, and trickery. And obviously his symbol is like the skull and scythe.
Gotcha. Also, before Glader goes to sleep, just in case we get fucking jumped in the middle of our sleep, Glader's gonna do lay on hands to everyone else in the party. I have enough to give everyone 5 hit points each before we go to sleep. I mean, it's better than 1.
There's no sleeping in this hole. It's a 1 hour hole. This is a short rest safety area.
Well, I'm still going to do that anyways. Just in case.
Okay, yeah.
6 hit points is better than 1 hit
Blade
point.
wants to put up the hut.
I was gonna say I could use the hut.
I mean,
It
yeah,
was
if
a
Blade
good
wants to
8 hour
throw up
rest.
Yeah, if Blade wants to throw up a hut and we can get a long rest, that'd be great. Because if I'm not mistaken, I just got revived by a good berry, so I think I just have 1 HP, right?
Everyone except myself, because Logus gave me cure wounds. Everyone has 1 HP.
Yeah,
We know.
tiny hut sounding like a good option right now.
Yeah, my plan was to just take a short rest to get some HP back and then just walk back to town and rest instead of just sleeping out here. I mean, it's up to you.
I mean, at 1 HP, I guess
Sure,
it's
looking at it
risky.
the wrong way and we're done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
if we
how
encounter
far is
one
the town?
wrong thing coming out of the swamp, and that could be TPK. Like the hit die's only going to bring me up to maybe half health.
yeah.
I guess
far
I've
is the
got
town
potions,
from where we're
but
at, John?
Say that again.
How far is the town from where we're at?
Half hour.
I mean, I guess at a half hour we could short rest, roll hit die, make it back to the town, try to squeak in a long rest, and check in to see if they've been able to locate the captives.
I mean, if we're gonna get a long rest in anyway, we might as well just do it here, then do the travel instead of like do a short rest, travel, talk to people, long rest. We can just do long rest, travel, talk to people, and then once
There was
we
a difference in the time. I mean, who knows what's going to be different in 8 hours from now compared to an hour from now?
yeah, but we could get we could walk up to the clerics, get the information, and be like, okay, we need to leave right now, but all we have is a short rest. I have no spell slots left whatsoever. I used all
Yeah,
of.
I mean, the party's sitting on death's door. One way or another, we need to heal. But I mean, if we go back now and we try to rest, and then we get attacked by something, we're fucked. If we rest right now, we go back and the town is being attacked. At least then we're in a condition to fight.
Yeah,
I'm
Well,
of
if
the
you have to
mindset we take a long rest if we can.
yeah,
Because
we got tiny
if
hut.
we're all sitting on 1 HP, I mean that's dire straits right there.
Yeah,
So do I still throw the rope, Sean, or you let me retcon that like they stopped me and put the hut out instead?
Your guys' call. What do you want to do from here?
I think they want to do the hut, but I said I was pulling out my rope already. And
yeah. I think we want to
plan
do.
changed.
I think we're probably gonna lean towards. I mean, it sounds like majority wants to kind of like take a long rest in the tiny hut. So would it be possible to just retcon not pulling out
Oh yeah, for sure.
his tight little hole?
Yeah, that way you can save your spell or whatever, your spell slot.
Logus looks disappointed. He was looking to have 4 dudes in his hole.
I mean, you can take out your hole in the tiny hut.
No. Y'all prefer his hut to my hole. Okay.
We can have both.
While they're getting the hut set up, what does the surroundings look like? Any animals, footprints around the area that look concerning? Anything?
Give me a perception check.
Yeah, Glader
Go ahead.
also actively gonna be kind of circling around Blade as he's doing his ritual or spell to keep an eye out to make sure nothing sneaks up on them.
That's a 16 perception.
Yeah, as far as you could tell, like there's a little bit of wildlife. You guys are currently on like one dry patch of land that is like surrounded by a very marshy like swampland in all directions. Even at midnight there's a plethora of bugs buzzing about, and you see small critters scurrying off into the darkness. There's definitely some wildlife here.
For the first time in history, Glader rolled a higher perception than Logus. I got a 17. Does that change anything?
Not particularly. You're kind of looking around, and one thing I'll give you, since you outrode Logus for the first time ever, one thing you notice pretty quickly is the bush and rocks that Renwick and Logos seem to stash their coins in have been removed and thoroughly. Doesn't look like your buddy's coin purses are where they left them.
Fuck! I forgot about my coin purse. Son of a
Later
bitch.
would not have, he would have noticed that the bushes are gone, like outside the tent. But
All of the immediate area around this like little shack you guys were in suffered like basically a small tornado, and that it like picked up rocks and debris, which you all deftly dodged. Small plants, furniture, pieces of his wall, rocks, possibly Renwick and Logos's coin purse hurled at painful velocities.
Glader's
Does anybody happen to have locate object?
I
Well, let's
do.
look it out.
I'll cast locate object on my own coin purse just to see if it's within 1,000 feet.
It is.
Wait, how far is it? Like, do I risk getting attacked if I go get it?
It's not far, but it is 200, 300 feet or so away.
I'm 1 HP. Does it look like it's moving, or is it just sitting there?
Nope,
You're
it's
right.
just sitting there.
I gave you 5 lay on hands.
Logos,
Okay,
I'll
I'm
walk with you. If danger shows up, I still have my cloak and we can make a hasty retreat.
All right. I'll walk over there and I'll try to get my coin purse.
Okay, roll initiative. No, I'm just kidding. you you fetch the coin purse without any problem. It's pretty mucky. You kind of have to fish around in this muck, but with the locate object spell, you know exactly where to look, so it's not difficult.
I'll cast another because I have another. What is it? Locate object. It is a second. I have another slot, so I'm gonna cast it again and look for Renwick's.
Okay, so for yours, I rolled a pure luck check that was nice, and for Renwick's, I rolled a pure luck check that was not so nice. You do not sense Renwick's coin purse anywhere near.
So my coin purse got thrown over 1,000 feet away.
Do we know it's in the area?
Like, we're not
Or-
rolling a perception check. Like, that's a fucking spell that can locate an object within 1,000 feet. Did it really throw it that far?
Or it got taken with him.
You're not sure?
Well, that sounds
Alright.
like some bullshit to me, but thank you for trying.
Renwick, I tried to cast locate it, and it's either without of range or it's not here. I mean, we can go look if you want.
No, I mean, I've got 1 HP, and apparently it's not within 1,000 feet, so fuck it. I'll just start from scratch.
All right, Locust, let's go to the hut.
Alright, so we head back to the hut.
Okay, and remind me again, Blade, what is the language on your hut spell? It's got something funky in there where like people can't see you and stuff, right? Something like that.
Yeah, I think it's dimly lit. I don't think people can see in, but let me just pull it up here. Okay, 10-foot radius, immobile dome of force springs into existence around and above you and remains stationary for the duration. Spell ends if you leave it. 9 creatures of medium size or smaller can fit inside the dome with you. The spell fails if the area includes a larger creature or more than 9 creatures. Creatures and objects within the dome, when you cast a spell, can move through it freely. All other creatures and objects are barred from passing through it. Spells and other magical effects can't extend through the dome or be cast through it. The atmosphere inside the space is comfortable and dry regardless of weather outside. Until the spell ends, you can command the interior to become dimly lit or dark. The dome is opaque from the outside and any color you choose, but it is transparent from the inside. Yeah, so I guess I'd probably just have it be like a brownish, greenish like color, just to kind of blend in with the swamp, not to draw attention.
Okay, great. Yeah, for sure. You manifest the magic to your will. As you kind of pull this together, and this little hut manifests around you guys. Is there anything in particular you like? You want to set up a watch, or tell me what's the plan? Just straight for the long rest, or any
I
bedtime
would
rituals
say
or anything?
I would say we need a watch just so we don't have it collapse with a giant ass alligator sitting outside.
I'll take first watch because I want to spend an hour tuning since I have another 2 minute slot open to the nature's mantle. So I'll take first watch.
Okay. As you guys kind of settle down and sleep takes you, Logos, as you're taking first watch, go ahead and give me a perception check.
That's 18, and I'm rolling real low on perception. So 8 plus 10.
So with an 18, as you kind of look it out, you do notice a handful of guards come kind of crashing through the brush at some point. They look to be the Red Fist, that is the faction that follows the Cord and whatnot, Sir Jux of Cord. And they look to be kind of like investigating the area briefly. They kind of look around, but they give the hut a wide berth, as they're always kind of used to seeing some sort of shack there from Gunner. So they give it a wide berth, but they do kind of check the area a bit, kind of curious as to the nature of this sudden storm. And then a small squadron, after poking around, does leave, head back to the city.
Yeah, Logan's busy at tuning, and not really up to dealing with people. Just kind of stays put and quietly lets them leave.
All right, as you're kind of looking out for the party, let's see here. What is the next rotation, or are you pulling the all-nighter, Logos?
No, I'll do a double because I only need 4 hours, so I'll just take the second one before I have to bother somebody.
Okay, so as you all find sleep for the night under Logos's watchful eye, Locris, we'll start with you. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
See, I don't know what that means. It's like that's
All right, 22.
Nice. Okay, so you find yourself, you find a unique scene. You stare out at rolling hills of what appears to be ash-colored grass. Small, razor-sharp bushes dot the landscape, a deep reddish-brown in color. The occasional black, twisted bark of a lone tree. The sky is gloomy gray, and a red sun looms behind them. "Ho there, pup," a familiar voice calls. "Not all is dark in Shadowfell." Drassic Riven stands next to you and seems to also be taking in the landscape. He seems different somehow, no longer a silhouette of a man shrouded in shadow. While still the silhouette of a man, his form remains very blurry and hard to focus on. You swear you could see the finery behind the blur occasionally, some shine to rings as the hand moves, and the glint of a belt buckle, or maybe what appear to be boots of the finest make, though they constantly blur and shift, so you're not quite sure. He looks you over intently with an ever-shifting face and says, reaching outward instead of relying on me for all the answers. I knew that you were different. He reaches out and touches your shoulder, and with a cold grip and a flash, you soon find yourself living weeks, sometimes months, as other individuals. Strict training routines with many types of armor and weapons, exercises, diets, drills, from many different perspectives and mindsets. Suddenly, you are in a plane of darkness. A giant throne of bone with a massive swirling shadow silhouette of a man upon it. All is not well here. Ironic. I find myself in need of an ally within the material plane. One strong enough to traverse the realms. Come to Shadowfell and present yourself to me here. I will grant you a great boon. There is something to be dealt with here that will benefit the both of us greatly. And within an instant, everything begins to fade as a familiar twisting, crackling bolt of purple energy erupts from somewhere behind Drassic Riven, crashing into him and causing out a roar that kind of echoes through your subconscious and brings you to wake. That being said, also, I'm going to need a saving throw, a wisdom saving throw from Renwick.
Well, it's a nat 2, so I'm sure I failed whatever this is.
With a nat 2, alright. So, as you fade into darkness and sleep takes you, you find yourself a dream. It starts off pleasant. The sun is shining and you're sailing upon the Dawn Treader, and then suddenly splash, bubbles, a bit of a struggle, and then darkness. You're pulled down deeper and deeper until you can no longer see the sun, held by an extremely long tentacle that kind of just wades off into the darkness, holding you underwater in the cold, icy realm, and the darkness so close. You hear a voice echo in your own head. It's, using your own free will, do you submit to the will of the Kraken? And as it does so from the shadows, you see in the vast, vast distance what you could only be described as the underwater horizon, as it is so far away. You see two large, glowing red eyes kind of gaze upon you.
I think he takes a long pause and takes in everything and stares at these eyes and says, if it means that I can save my family and save my friends and accomplish what needs to be done, then I do.
As soon as you say I do, suddenly you're being pulled at a tremendous rate of speed, bubbles erupting all around you, and you're getting closer and closer to the eye. And after an indeterminate amount of time and maybe even space, the echoes in your mind happen once again. You agree to heed my influence, spread my influence, and if need be, submit yourself and others to my fathomless, infallible influence. And the gaze intensifies upon you.
Well, I cannot speak on behalf of others, but if it gives me the power to succeed in what I need to be done, then I'll serve you as well. I do submit.
And with that, you and this creature dive deeper into the ocean. It pulls you slowly up to its massive face. You are barely a fleck of dust in this compared to this thing's eyeball. Massive eye looking down upon you. Darkness and water all around you. And once again, a familiar voice etches into your mind. Do you accept your sole purpose is to grow and learn and acquire much? For doing so pleases your master. And for all that you are, all that you have, all that you become, in the end, you are to be consumed by me, become one with me, bolster my power and knowledge evermore for all of eternity. What say you? And the gaze looks directly at you.
I accept your terms. But do you happen to be able to spare a little cash? Because I'm kind of strapped right now.
You hear the echoes of
that part was a joke. I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself.
you hear the echoes of laughter echoing from inside your own skull. Then, by all that is considered law throughout all of the cosmos, you are mine. And as its grip tightens, you feel like it might be choking the life out of you, and then suddenly a flash of light as this ancient being, tens of thousands of years old, gives you a brief glimpse into its mind. And suddenly, you relive every moment of a several-year period within the life of another. His ups, his downs, but more importantly, his study of the arcane. Who is this person? Another ward, perhaps? The man spends years fine-tuning custom magic theories and applications, despite being a social pariah. As the scene fades, the memories and knowledge remain. The last thing you see before falling into sleep's embrace is a massive, razor-toothed maw fading into the darkness. Good, it says, as it fades into blackness. That being said, who is taking second watch, Logos? You watch as both Renwick and Locris have violent, like almost like night terrors. They mumble in their sleep and they toss and they turn.
At this shift change, would Locris and I have reached a long rest, though?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay. If we make it to the end of a long rest, then I think Renwick would probably grab Locris and be like, I think you and I should take the next watch. I could use a moment of your time.
That's fine. I don't think I'm gonna get any more sleep tonight anyway.
Logos will go kind of as they're waking up, go and just sit down in a corner and enter his meditation.
Okay, yeah. I imagine both Blade and Gladier are like snoring heavily. Probably a little bit of drool at this point.
Oh, definitely.
So as you two take watch, the brim of the sun has not quite broke the horizon, but you see it coming. Is there anything you'd like to do?
I think since the two of us are sitting up and kind of watching, Renwick would just kind of he'd sit there in silence for a while. I imagine sitting cross-legged, maybe Polaris kind of resting on his lap. And he'll just look over at Locris and be like, I had a nightmare or a dream, or it felt like more than that, though. Like there's something different. Something happened. It felt subconscious, but I still feel it now that I'm awake. I I I think I might have formed a stronger connection with whatever caused this. And he kind of lifts up his tentacle hand. I think I might have made a mistake. But at the same time, I feel different. I feel that there's something that wasn't there before. Something I think I can use.
Do you have a focus?
What do you mean?
Well, I'm taking a guess, but if you agreed, because I had another one of my usual dreams, and if it's anything like what I have, you were speaking to a patron who may have blessed you or cursed you, however you want to look at it, with some powers. If so, it helps to be able to have a focus to get out those powers. And I'm guessing, being a pirate and stuff, you really didn't do a lot with magic.
Yeah, I can't say that magic's ever really been my forte. I'm pretty nimble with the fingers and quick on my feet, but I've never been much of a magician.
I will, Lucas reaches into his bag and pulls out a focus crystal. And, you know, I had to use this for a while, but now my abilities comes out through my weapon. So really it's just sitting here collecting dust. I want you to do this. Take a hold of this. Focus on one of the trees in the distance and see if you can have something happen. Since I don't know what cantrips or anything you took.
That is a fair point. Let me pull those up just to confirm. All right. Yeah, he'll take the crystal and he'll sort of stare off at a nearby tree, and he'll just focus extremely hard, and then kind of look up from the crystal and look at the tree. And I imagine it's almost as if the branches sort of warp and begin twisting and curling, and they almost look to become tentacle like in their own way. And he kind of shakes his head and snaps out of it, looks back at Locris, and says, well, whatever this is, I think you might have definitely cracked the surface. And for reference, that would have been minor illusion, because oddly enough, I didn't take Eldritch Blast intentionally, but I feel like that's where that was going, and I cannot blast a tree.
Very nice.
Yeah, so you definitely have some powers. The more you play around, you'll probably discover more. I find new ones coming up every, I don't know, few days. It feels like months, but essentially it's been every few days. So, keep the crystal, maybe put on a pendant or something else until you find a focus that you like a little bit better. And while we're at it, reach back into the bag. I know you're not having the best of luck, especially with your beat the system idea of hiding your coin purse. So just to help you get back up on your feet for a bit, I'll pull out my gold and silver brooch worth 750 gold, 300 gold in gems, and 100 platinum. You know, it's just a loan, of course. But you're with this new power, you're definitely going to need to make sure you have things ready. So here's a good way to get started. It's not doing me much good, just kind of collecting dust. So
I mean, from a Dakota standpoint, Jesus Christ, that's very generous of you. Thank you so much. Just to confirm, you said 750 gold for the brooch, 300 gems, and 100 plat. Did I hear that right?
it is a silver and gold brooch worth 750 gold pieces that I stole from the queen. $300, 300 gold pieces worth of gems that we got recently, and then 100 platinum. So basically, it's about 2,000 gold pieces just to get you started.
Well, goddamn, dude. Thank you so much. I will 100% pay that back, but at least now I can still get supplies and shit.
Just don't tell the others, because, you know, I don't need them fucking begging me for money, especially that Logis. Get another Sturge toy to play with or something.
You know, he's got a whole business model and everything. You'd think he'd be better with his money and he wouldn't have to ask for it. That being said, thank you. I genuinely cannot put into words how much I appreciate this. I only ask that maybe we don't tell everybody about all this yet. I know that obviously I'm cursed with the tentacles and whatnot, but perhaps we keep this further relationship to ourselves for now.
I will share any details about me. I don't gossip about other people.
I respect that. And he'll reach out the tentacle hand to shake your hand.
I'll use Mage Hand to shake it.
I will use Mage Hand to shake your Mage Hand. And I'll just go, oh, didn't know I could do that. Just kind of thought it in my head, thought it would be funny, but then it actually happened.
Welcome to a whole new world.
Oh, I'm gonna do all kinds of weird shit with this. He lifts the tentacle hand with one hand and the mage hand with his left hand.
Rough. It comes, yeah, it works. Strangely enough, you have this command over magic prowess suddenly. And I think as you and Alokris kind of talk on and the sun begins to rise into the sky, this is probably a good spot to call the session, fellas.
Good.
I just want to retcon just like the hour or so before Glader fell asleep, and probably partially while he was asleep. He would have put back on his girdle of scales since his ring finger is sadly absent of ring, and reattuned to that.
Okay, duly noted. Logos, are
Yeah,
you
and
going to
I
reattune something in absence of your ring?
yeah, I attuned to nature's mental.
Okay, yeah, that's an awesome item.
Yeah, I was kind of low key upset when it happened. Then I remembered I had that, and I was like, ah, it's all right.
All right, fellas. Well, yeah, that was a good sesh. You guys, you didn't quite play into what I had a backup plan if you guys did not want to deal with Pixel's shit for sure. Like I had, there was a secondary encounter if you guys tried to make your way to the mountain by yourself. But I think the encounter was a lot more fun.
Well,
That
worse.
was hell. Fuck you, but also super impressed, well written, and it definitely hit us straight in the fucking weak spot. But god damn it. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm kicking myself now because I'm like, it's got like there's a fucking twist. Like we know there's a twist, and like we can't just beat this and we're all in chat and it's like, I mean, technically we all have rings. Do we just stab each other and then once we're all stabbed, we win? And we're like, yeah, let's just fucking stab each other.
And man, I wrote a 25 insight and I asked which one used Pixel, and he told me you believe both of them that they're not Pixel, and I still fucking stabbed y'all. Like, I should have known, man.
Sean, I just sent you my updated character sheet.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, for sure.
I will do the same.
Oh yeah, do you want Oliver's?
Yeah, around level 8 or 9 is where you guys start becoming like superheroes, and so I gotta see what you are capable of so that I can better balance encounters and things.
I mean, this way you can see what Eldritch invocations and crap I took. Especially now that I'm multi-classing, I'm keeping my second wind and my ring storage and all that properly marked.
And I gotta give you guys a peek behind the screen just briefly. Like Renwick, there was no in hell you were getting your coin purse back as you ditched it. Like I knew it was gonna cause a problem right off the bat, so I rolled right then and there to see if the barrel, who the bullfrog was actually this guy's familiar. I rolled right off the bat before you even entered the tavern to have that coin purse disappear pretty quick.
I had a feeling, but in my head I was like, there's a 99% chance we lose this fucking game. So if I could stash my coins outside and somehow get a loophole so at least I can spread that out amongst the party when we lose all our shit, then so be it.
It was pretty clever. It threw me for a loop. I was not expecting you guys to do that. Like, what if you guys ditched all your items outside and then went in to play the game? Like, you would have fucking not had shit.
Goddamn bear! I didn't even think about it. We only saw it for like a split second.
So I don't waste this spell slot on the next session. There's no chance of getting it back.
Yeah, I kind of already tipped my hand. I made the decision because Renwick threw me off by ditching his coin purse. I was like, that's a good idea. And then I recall, you guys didn't really catch it off the bat, but the frog leaping from his lap that transformed into the barrel Blade and him were playing games on was actually his familiar. And I figure the sneaky guy would definitely send his familiar to get that coin purse. But Logus did the same, but him and Renwick's scores differed by just a smidge.
No,
Honestly,
that's totally fair.
I think he
God
had more
damn.
money than me too, and it
To be fair, I don't know how much money I fucked Renwick over out of. Only I imagine it was a good portion.
It was about 47 or 4,800 gold.
Ouch.
Yep. That one hurt quite a bit.
Right. We'll get you rich again, buddy.
I mean, honestly, Chris, I can't thank you enough because that's more than generous for getting me back on my feet. I will totally repay you. But
Well, I mean, I'm looking at
hey, we
my
got a
stuff
map.
and all my gold, it's just been piling up because nothing I go for has been available. So I'm like, all right, well, this brooch, now I don't have to sell it. Gems, I don't have to sell. So screw it.
That's how I ended up with almost 5,000 gold that I'm just sitting on. It's just like everything I'm looking for hasn't been around, and I usually roll dick on my investigation checks when we go shopping, so I never find anything I'm looking for. So we've just been like
Well, I mean-
piling this gold up, waiting for something to come along.
Yeah, like most of the weapons we find are +1. It's like, well, I already got that for the packed weapons, so.
All right, fellas. Well, keep in touch on the socials and whatnot. I think I'm going to take off, and yeah, we'll do this again soon. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was a
Oh,
great
Um,
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm gonna go have nightmares about this fucking guess game.
Midnight, Medusa and the Gorgon comes out on Monsters and Mythos.
Oh shit!
game.
I need to get
Welcome.
new headphones so I can get back to listening to shit at work. Mine broke,
And we just-
unfortunately. It's been quiet.
And we discover where Gorgons being metal bulls actually came from. And it's quite revealing.
Yeah, that was a fun
Mm.
episode. I like that one.
Didn't the Critical Role face a Metal Bull Gorgon in one of their
Yeah.
campaigns?
Yep. But, anybody who knows Gorgons and realizes they're not metal bulls. They're not bulls at all. They're fucking Medusa.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. I'll talk to you soon. Keep in touch.
Sounds good, fellas. See y'all tomorrow.
Again,
guys.